Okay, guys, we are live. So for those listening at home, welcome to the Dungeon Musings YouTube channel. My name is Kevin Madison, and I will be your friendly Dungeon Master this evening. Today, we were going to be playing our second part of the GURPS adventure that we have been playing in Atomic Paris. But unfortunately, in the last the hour before our session, we had two players unfortunately fall ill. So we have found ourselves without a game that we were ready to play. So after talking things over with Jeff and Sean and talking about the session that I ran yesterday as an open table session for this game, this is for Low Fantasy Gaming by Pickpocket Press. I was mentioning that I didn't feel that I did a terribly great job in running the game last time. And I figured, you know, no better way to get back at it than get back on the same horse that bucked you. So I thought we would make some characters today, and then we would see how the game plays with a new set of players, new set of having learned my lessons from yesterday. And yeah, we'll see where we go. So, and today for the stars for today's character creation and character killing, possibly, session, are the stars of our regular Sunday sessions. First up, we got Sean.
Hey, everybody. My name's Sean. Sorry about the voice, but I've had my own little health battles, but I'm on the rebound and I'm ready to go. Low Fantasy Gaming.
I just realized I got the wrong name on our stream. And joining Sean and myself is Jeff, a regular fixture on the channel.
Hey everybody, I'm Jeff, and there's a 90% chance I'm going to be building a monk.
Yeah, I think it's a pretty darn good chance of that.
Nice.
Okay, so guys, the way that let's talk about the setting here. You no doubt have seen your character sheets here. Character sheets for this game are pretty beautiful. And what we're going to be, we are going to set this session in Thule, my setting for Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea campaign. So that's what Untamed Thule looks like. You guys will be in the main city, or the main settlement of Tuleborg. It is a wild and untamed city. If you think of kind of like a cross between Conan's Zamora and Deadwood. That'll be a good idea of just how wild and kind of untamed the place is. Just like Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea, there's no non-humans, no non-human characters in this, so we're all playing humans. Just humans from different cultures. The first thing we need to do when making your character, one of the things you may notice that is different with Low Fantasy Gaming is there's two extra stats, and then one stat has been renamed. In place of wisdom, you have will, and you have a separate perception stat. So unlike other D&D games where wisdom kind of does double duty as your willpower and your perception, this game splits up the two. You also have a stat called luck, and luck is basically an expendable resource that is also used for your for saving throws. Saving throws are all basically rolls of luck. So guys, you have. I'll type this into chat so you know what your stats are, but we're going to do... Well, two guys. Yes, you know what? We can go old school here. You can either... let's see here. Attributes are as follows. Let's go with rules as suggested. Each character starts with one automatic score of 15. Then the rest of them, the other 6, are 4d6, keep the highest. So you guys want to do random generation, or you want to do point allocation?
I'll go. I prefer random for me, but
I like to roll.
Fuck yeah, let's do it. So guys, maybe let's see here. How are we going to do this? The classes. So you understand what stats you need. A monk, its key stat is willpower. At least that's what the rulebook tells me. The other classes. So there are some. There are all the classes you would expect from fantasy role playing. So there's barbarian. There's fighter, there's bard. In place of clerics, there's something called a cultist. And a cultist is not... It's closer to what you would expect a paladin to be, where in the sense that it has some specific defined abilities, but it doesn't cast spells the way that like a priest or a cleric does in 5e or D&D. In place of that, if you want to build something closer to that, build a magic user. Magic user kind of does double duty. There's only one magic spell list. There's rangers, there are rogues, and that is it. You will find as you make your character too. Oh, and there's my favorite, the artificer. The artificer is the kind of like a cross between an alchemist and an inventor. They have some really cool bag of tricks, things they can draw on, and because we're going to start our characters at 2nd level, they also gain access to their troubleshooter ability, which is basically you cobble together some short-term device. So obviously, I don't want you to pick one just because I like it, but it is a pretty cool class. What's your preference there, Sean? What are you thinking of playing?
Since it was on the fly, I find myself looking to probably go more basic.
Okay.
Artificer sounds interesting. I just never played before, so I wasn't sure, if the extra...
Go nuts. We're all learning here, so if that does appeal to you, go crazy.
It was I would say it's between the Artificer and the Barbarian.
Very cool. So there's 2 ways you can do this. You could randomly roll between the 2, or you could randomly generate your stats and then decide from what's being assigned.
Sounds good. Let's do that.
Okay, cool. So then each of you guys...
I might just do that too.
Nice, okay.
Good call.
So 4d6, keeping the lowest for each of them, and then you also get to assign a 15 to one of them.
Okay. And how many... that's...
there are 7. You're not generating... luck always will start at 10 plus half your level. So both of you guys will have a luck of 11 unless you become a cultist. And the... Otherwise, it's just one... basically roll 6 times 4d6, and then you're also going to have 1 extra stat. There's 7 stats in this as opposed to the 6 in others.
Right.
That is not a fortuitous start.
That is not a fortuitous start.
No. But, come on, what's an OSR game without a dump stat?
Right. Oh, there we go.
Hey! Oh, yeah. That one's hot garbage. Good golly. Okay.
6 of them,
2,
Kevin?
3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, you got your 6 stats there.
Okay.
And you get to dump 1 for a 15 though. So
No, you also get a 15.
Oh, you all? Oh, because there's 7 stats.
Because there's 7 stats, exactly. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Roll. I guess it doesn't do roll 46, keep 3, does it?
It would, but you have to. It's a formula. You'd have to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll just do it manually. So 10. Let's open the dice roller because it's the easiest way to re-roll.
12. So stat bonuses, guys, in this
Oh,
one.
yuck.
Stat bonuses start at 13, and the penalties start at 8.
Okay.
And then once you've decided what your stats will be, guys, go ahead and fill them in under score and max, and it will calculate your modifier automatically. The sheets are already automated.
Cool.
That's a pretty good roll.
3,
Holy shit.
4, 5.
17, isn't it?
Yeah. And I got 3 14s.
Nice.
That'll work.
That's pretty good.
Sean's got what, 15? You're going to have at least 2 15s. A 12.
Is there a character sheet, you said?
Yep. Here's... Oh, there's yours, Jeff, and there's yours, Sean. Did it pop up on the screen for you?
Yep.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so... And I'll adjust your levels here for you guys, because you'll be level 2. You've got a little bit of experience under your belt. We're just going to do gear selection, like in Ash as well, too. You'll each start with your starting kit for your gear, just for the sake of ease.
Cool.
Okay. So, woo, Sean, that does not look like the stats for a for a barbarian.
Right. No. So I guess.
I mean, look, you can feel free to assign your stats wherever you like. That's why you've got that floating 15.
I got you. The 15's floating.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So it's up to you guys if you want to. I mean, one way to, if you genuinely want to full on randomly generate your stats, you could roll a D7 and then assign that to your 15, then bump whatever is there down, and that would fill out your your stats. But I mean, what would be more interesting is like if you've got a character type that you like playing. Let's see how that works in low fantasy gaming. Like Jeff loves playing monks.
Gotcha. Yep.
Yeah. Your monk in Ash was pretty badass too.
Let me see. What is the stat for an artificer?
For an artificer, intelligence, yeah.
Yeah. I think I'm going to go barbarian. Keep it simple.
Nice. Okay. Sounds good.
So
Constitution. Con is your primary stat for barbarian.
Okay. And so that and then all the stats in that 12. Where does the original con score go?
The original. Well, what do you mean?
Well, it's 12 right now. So instead.
Oh, then what you would do is you would move that to like you can assign the stats wherever you want. If you're playing a barbarian, you might want to bump that, like say the 15 index to or something to your strength, so you're not taking a penalty to melee.
Oh, you move them around. You can
assign them wherever you like. Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah. Jeff, how's yours looking?
Pretty good.
You monking it up?
Yeah, I don't know exactly which stats to do, but unfortunately, I only have a charisma of 7.
Nice.
I figure it's got to be my dump stat.
Okay. So then, make sure you set your your scores to your max as well. So
I see.
Yeah, so they fit. Okay.
Otherwise, they can get changed.
Yes. You can see them change, particularly luck. Oh, and I didn't adjust your luck for you. Boom. There we go. And boom. Oopsies. Boom. Okay. Now, go ahead and fill your class in, guys. And let's see here. You are playing a barbarian and a monk. All right, so the barbarian is on page 20 of the core rulebook and for the deluxe edition, and the monk is on page 35. So Jeff, your starting hit points are going to be 8 plus your constitution modifier, if you've got any, plus 1.
Yeah.
And Sean, yours is going to be 12 plus your constitution modifier. And your con modifier is plus 2, looks like, so 14.
Is that per level?
Well, then we're going to roll. We'll roll your...
okay.
So one neat thing they do is, like, to get around, to allow you to actually roll the hit points, but get around the, like, well, I just rolled 1 for my hit point, you roll number plus something else. So, like, Jeff, would you roll a 1d4 plus 4, please, for yours? And Sean, 1d6 plus 6 for yours, plus your con modifier. That's what you'll get at second level.
1d6 plus 6 plus my con modifier, so 1d6 plus 8?
That's right, yeah. That's what you got. This are the hit points at second level. Nice!
Here we go.
Okay.
Ooh,
So
yeah.
12, and you had a max of... You had 14 at the first level? So you got 26 hit points at second level?
Nice.
Badass.
So I have 17 hit points.
Nice. Don't you have plus... Wait, 4 plus 4 plus 1? Yes, you're right, sorry. Math is challenging.
You know, I do have a degree in mathematics, Kevin.
Yeah. I know. Go ahead and tell us about the problems with electoral systems, Kev. That'll help us in our math.
Yeah. 7.
Okay.
There we go.
Oh, excellent. Okay, so we got
8 plus
that.
9, 17. Okay.
There's that. Okay, then your attack bonus, Jeff, is going to be at second level is plus 1.
Okay.
The sheets are automated, so when we add your weapons and shit in, it will automatically calculate that stuff for you. Now, the way skills work in this is kind of interesting. There is a list of skills, but you also will get a background, and a background basically functions as a skill. The way that skill tests work in this is you make a d20 roll, and if you roll equal to or less than your stat, and if it's a skill that you're trained in, stat +1, then you get to then you succeed. And if you roll half that amount, then you get a great success. So looking at your character there, Jeff, you automatically get the skills Acrobatics, Apothecary, and Athletics, and then 4 more from that list. You're just going to add those individually under the skills. Click on Add.
Okay, yeah, I see.
Yep. And then if you want to know what stat that the skills go with, you can find those on page 50 of the core rulebook.
Give it to me one more time. Sorry, Kev. Attack
Sure.
bonus.
Yeah, so yours, let's hear. You got your stats in there. Excellent. Got your hit points in there. Boom. Good. Your attack bonus is a +2.
Cool.
Because you are a badass barbarian.
Yes.
For you, let's see here. You gain animal lore. So under the skills tab there, you're going to start with animal lore and wilderness lore. So you're going to add those. Click on add. Oh, if you go to the... Oh, so what you're doing is if you click on the things, it takes them away. So you don't want to do that. Boom. What you want to do is click on add.
Okay.
And then, so you've got animal lore and wilderness lore automatically. And then on page 20 of the rulebook, that's where you can find 4 more skills, and you'll fill those in. And then set the attribute to what they are on page 50. So, like, for instance, acrobatics is dexterity, apothecary is intelligence, and then athletics is the better of strength or con.
Oh, wait, are you reading them out to me? Sorry, I was just going to go to page 1.
Oh, it's okay. No, you go ahead. I was just filling up dead air.
I could have... Yeah. No, that's good. I would have just typed them in.
'Kay.
But I wasn't paying attention until I realized you were saying what I needed.
For sure. Okay, so you got all your skills there. Great. And, yeah, Sean, then you just pick whichever ones you want, and then go to page 50 to pick what you...
How many do we get again?
You know what, guys? I'm actually going to make you level 3, because I want to highlight one other thing that's cool about this. So go ahead. Let me... Sean, your base attack will be 3, and then give me a 1d6 plus 8 to add more hit points. And Jeff, for you, your base attack...
1d4 plus 4.
Your base attack is now a 2, and same thing, add that. And I have a method to my madness here, because I want to show you one
Nice!
thing.
Another 8 hit points.
Excellent.
I rolled well on those.
Nice, another 11 for...
Yeah.
Yeah, you guys are... tough
We have
guys.
some hit points. That's good.
Yep. Okay.
Stupid PDFs never load very fast when you just view them.
Yeah.
How many skills total do we get, Kevin?
You get, you have 4 more you can select from that list. Acrobatics, athletics, apothecary, deception, detection, divine lore, gather information, insight, leadership, persuasion, sailing, and stealth.
Nice.
Okay, do you just want to read me the skills, Kev? I'm downloading the PDF, so I'm gonna...
Okay, sure. Yeah, so let's see here. Your athletics, let's see, what do you got here? So acrobatics is dex.
Yeah, that's kind of what I thought.
Apothecary is intelligence. Athletics is strength or con, whichever's better.
Okay.
Insight is intelligence or perception, whichever's better. Stealth is dex. Traps and locks is dex. And detection is perception.
Perfect. So, what advantage no on all of them?
To start, yes. So what this is,
And the modifier should be whatever my modifier is for that stat.
Well, no. So the way it works is, you remember, you're rolling your relevant stat +1 because you're trained in it, and then you go under. But there is a thing you've got in this game called the reroll pool, and what that is basically, it's what it sounds like. Think of like what you can do with hero points. You have a number of reroll pool equal to your level. Yeah, 1 reroll pool per level. So you guys will have 3 in your reroll pool. Okay.
Yeah. No, but the modifier on the skills isn't equal to the
no, because so like an easier way to go ahead and click on your acrobatics.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll show you how this works out here. Boom. See, you rolled a 6, which is less than half of the target number of 15, which is 14. Is your dex of 14 plus 1 from being skilled in it, which means you got a great success on it.
Sweet.
Oh, okay, I see.
Yep. Yeah. One nice thing I like about it is that like your characters do start off with competency in a lot of your skills. You're not a chump.
Yep.
Okay, so we got that there. Good. Oh, Sean's got
I should have 7 skills at the end, right?
That's correct. You should have you got one more. No, 6 I think in total.
Yep.
Yeah, 6. So you got one more skill you can pick.
Cool.
And Jeff, well, let's talk about your special abilities. So you, monks, this may come as a surprise to you. Monks are masters of unarmed combat. Causing damage equal to 1d6 damage, plus your strength modifier with your hands and other body parts. If you make an extra, you may make an extra attack each round with a punch, kick, headbutt, etc., as if armed with 2 weapons. But normally you can 2-weapon attack at will, but the second attack takes disadvantage. You do not suffer disadvantage unless you're wielding a 2-handed weapon. So let's go down to your melee weapons here, Jeff, and we'll click on Add. And under weapon name, put fist, or whatever your kung fu thing you want to call it.
Yeah.
There's no modifier to hit. The damage is 1d6. It'll automatically add your strength, so you don't need to add that in too. Under base damage. Crit range. Yep.
Right.
Crit range is 20, and then what crit damage is max damage plus your strength plus your level. That's how crits work in this. So it'll be 4. What's your strength? 15.
Oh,
nice.
here's the base damage.
So it's 6. So it'll be 9 is your crit damage.
Okay. And I don't need to add any plus damage or
Nope.
plus hit?
Yeah, those are only situational modifiers that are in there. Click on the roll. Boom. So if you need to if there's any special abilities or special qualifiers with it, you just fill that in under the notes and then tick the box so that it shows up in the roll. 2, 3. Excellent. Okay, Sean's got his skills picked. Pretty badass.
3 of my 6 skills are based on intelligence of 6. This should be good.
So that's that is going to be awesome. But here's a point that you're bringing up a good opportunity to talk about the reroll pool. So because one of the other things that comes with being skilled is it means you can use your reroll pool on that. You can't just use your reroll pool on anything, but you can use it on your skill checks. Things. So just because, and remember that disadvantage, or rather rolling with advantage, kind of adds like a +5. That's sort of the way the math works. So effectively, you've got a slightly better chance with some of those.
Cool.
Yeah. Okay. Now, maybe your barbarian just took a really bad hit to the head at some point.
Seriously. Like at 2 years old.
Yeah. So let's talk about your first level abilities as well. So you got Ferocious Rage. Now, under your features, that's where you can add that, guys. So if you click Add, you'll be able to add a description. You're going to want to track the uses. The way that a lot of classes track their ability, how many times they can crack out their neat abilities, is through that. And...
Okay, and so I gain 3 monk features at first level and 1 at each additional level.
Yeah, so your first, a number of techniques.
I can use them once per day, I think.
Let's see here. You begin the adventure with 1 use of this ability per level. You regain them by taking short or long rests. We're gonna have a short rest in after our bar fight. We're gonna start with a bar fight. Okay, so yes, so you're gonna pick. So you have 5 monk techniques that you can add in there. And then, Sean, so you have a number of rages per day equal to your level.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what it does, let's see here. To enter or end a rage, you declare it during your turn, or you can trigger it in response to getting damage or being charmed, feared, or maddened. That's interesting. Rage lasts a number of rounds equal to your con modifier. Whilst raging, so this is maybe put in the feature description, +2 to strength and con checks, and damage, and attack rolls, and luck saves, and you're immune to charm, fear, or madness effects. And all damage you suffer is halved. Yikes. Okay, here's another badass thing. So you're a barbarian, you are born to the wilds, which means that you always have advantage when you're making a check relating to wilderness lore. So what you can do is, on your wilderness lore skill, you can do the drop-down tag and hit it to advantage, so you're always rolling with advantage, and you can still access your reroll pool.
Okay.
Okay, so that helps offset you being a bit of a slow learner.
Right.
You also have Sixth Sense, so you have advantage when making checks to resist ambush or surprise.
Okay.
And what does a monk get at 2nd level? Oh, very cool. So you've got an ability that does trigger at on a roll of 19. So one of the things that the game does is a nat 20 is always a crit hit. But on a roll of a 19, some neat thing can happen in relation to the weapon you're using or the technique you're using as well. So for the monk, at 2nd level, Jeff, you, on a 19, you may grab, trip, disarm, or push the target up to 10 feet away.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so what you could do is maybe put that under the notes, under your unarmed thing, and then tick the box so that it'll show up when you roll.
Oh, right. Okay, that's a good idea.
Yeah. And, yeah, Sixth Sense. Oh, and then you also get, Sean, plus... That's to your damage and attack rolls as well.
Right. Let's see.
Okay, and how are are the techniques interesting, Jeff?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They're pretty awesome, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it doesn't show the notes when you roll.
You have to...
Check the box?
Yeah, tick the box on the far side there.
There we go.
There you go.
Oh, why did it format it like that?
Because it's formatting from PDF, so hold on, I can fix that for you.
Okay.
Let's try that here.
I won't cut and paste the rest.
There you go. No, you can do that. All you need to do is just backspace out the hard enters. Okay. Oop. Okay. All right. Let me know, guys, when you guys are finished with your stuff, and we'll talk about your unique features.
All right.
This is another neat element of the game as well, too. It allows a great deal of customization for the characters. Okay, now luck. Is it rounding
So
down?
this is one. Wait, you put 1 of 1 in the under the feature, or what?
Well, no. So what you've got is you have a number of times you can tap into your monk techniques equal to your level, and that when you use any of those monk techniques, that's when when you tick off one use of it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So if you choose to use formless, whatever the heck, what were you using there? Formless water. Oh, did you rename one of them? Oh no, it's acrobatics. Here
Well,
we go.
they're in. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, no, it wasn't in alphabetical order. Yeah. So then, like when you use that, you then tick off your one use of the ability, and then we'll talk about what short rests are when we come to that.
I just put the brackets name because I think it's got more.
It's definitely more, for sure. Yeah.
Flavorful.
Absolutely. Okay. Someone says, look out for kobolds. Definitely. Hey, Ice King.
I don't know how else to find the hard returns. Other than
Oh, yeah, it's... Let's see here.
it's after within. Like, you have to, like...
Yeah, you know what? Like, I've done it for so many years, you sort of get used to where you expect it. It's like when you cut and paste from a website and it's got a weird thing in it. It's just the formatting from it. There you go. Fix that. Okay.
Nice.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Those are some pretty sweet powers.
Excellent. Yeah, that, you know, when I made the pre-gens for the last session, like it's character creation is super fucking cool in the game, and this is something I think you're gonna like even better. Have you picked all your techniques yet?
No, there's
Still more. Okay, Sean, I think you've got your stuff down, right?
Start on the next thing.
I've got my features down.
Awesome. So let's talk about third level. Third level, you gain access to something called unique features. These start on page 43. What this is an opportunity for you to plunk in different abilities. So it's kind of like feats from other versions of D&D, but it's also how they do multi-classing in the game. So, you know, if you want to be able to cast a couple spells, then you'll pick as your unique feature for level 3 spellcasting. Or if you want to be like, you know, a rogue or like a ranger, you could do that. If you want to pick one of the other things, like say you've got access to a secret history, you know, you could pick that as your unique feature. They're on page 43 through to 47.
All right. Let's see here.
And this is partly where the backstory for your character will start coming together as well. You know what I'll do, guys? While you're doing that, I'll add some of the gear from your starting gear, just so we've got the weapons and whatnot in there. Okay, barbarian. Sean, do you want a spear or a short bow?
And would this represent his main weapon?
This is his only weapon. I think it looks like...
So yes.
Yeah. What you have is, let's see here, you will have 1d6 gold left over. Oh, hold on. One sec. Oh, sorry, hold on. So you get the gear pack, you also gain 1 melee weapon, 1 armor, 1 shield, if available to the class, and 1d6 GP. So we'll do gear together. I won't start adding shit in for you. We're making good time with our character creation here anyway. Okay. And while you guys are doing that, let me...
This is some of the best monk options I've seen in a while. I like that they have these sort of like almost like special powers that you get one use out of.
Yep.
I think it's a cool way of doing the character.
Agreed. Yeah. And that cuts across all of the character classes. Like the artificer, you get to pick what things you kind of invent. The priest, or the cultist, you get to pick what stuff you kind of your god grants you.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are the levels of these special abilities, Kevin? The 1, 2, 3.
So you have to start at 1. They're tiered.
Okay.
And you have to make your way up.
So we're looking at 1. Gotcha.
Okay.
And how many do I get of these?
Of these, you gain 1.
Okay.
1 at level 3, 1 at level 6, 1 at level 9, 1 at level 12.
Roger that.
Yeah.
Tough choice. There's some interesting ones on here.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool... You have a great deal of...
Flexibility.
Yeah, flexibility.
Okay, so there, I finally got my thing done. So now what's the step we're doing? It's on page what?
On page 43.
Yeah. So you gain a special unique ability.
Yeah.
Which we can also make up our own.
You can. Let's pick one of the ones from.
No, I know.
Here.
I'm just going through the actual rules. Like so, like me and you could make one up together.
Yeah,
Essentially.
yeah. If
It would be like close to something that's here or whatever, probably.
Yeah, and like if we need to reskin some of this stuff to fit what you see for your character, I'm fine with that as well. And I just added a special ability called Monk Techniques for you, Jeff, so you can track your uses of your abilities.
Oh.
Because then when you use one of your techniques, you can just tick that down.
Oh, I see. I see. I actually use, anytime I use one of them, I use a will.
Exactly, yeah.
Not that I get to use each one time.
No.
I could use the same one 3 times.
Correct, yeah. But you'll see that you do get to, you do get to reuse those.
So when there's more than one thing on these, you get all of them?
When there's more than one thing.
Like
No,
if you
just the first one.
Oh, if you take it again, you get the next thing?
Yes.
It's a level thing, I think. All right, Kevin? Or you
That's right, yeah. If you take one, you get the first tier, and then if you select it again at level 6, you would get the second tier.
Okay, I see.
Yeah, I mean, my question, my deliberation is whether to, because there's some obvious ones for combat that would be in the barbarian direction, but there's also some different ones that are kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
That give a little more breadth.
Whatever you like.
Yeah. Can't spend too much time with it. Okay, I got it.
Oh no, like feel free to take. What maybe like what are the ones that are particularly tantalizing?
Well, in the direction of barbarian, like signature weapons, a no-brainer. That'd be good. Slippery bastard's a little tempting. Getting out of stuff.
Yeah.
Weapons training, another no-brainer. Barbarian. Sign of the Silver Wolf. So that's for being a little lucky.
Okay.
That's my short list.
Mm-hmm.
That's my short list.
So how do I calculate my AC currently?
So your AC currently, let's see, does a monk get any kind of AC bonus stuff? I can't remember.
I don't know if it says anything there.
I think it does. So
there is a power that I can take then.
Oh, okay, that gives it. So no, so then otherwise it is just 10 plus your Dex modifier.
Okay, because there's one that lets me add my will.
Oh, interesting.
Called Dragons.
Let me ask you, Kevin. Oh, go ahead, sir.
Dance of Dragons.
Okay.
So that seems like the right thing to take.
So when, let's say it makes you choose a melee weapon, how specific is it asking in this game, Kevin?
About the same as like D&D. So like an axe. I mean, to be honest, I'll let you be. If you pick axe, then I think I would probably let it be any axes.
So sword, not just you wouldn't have to go like great sword or something.
I don't think so. No. Let's take a look at which one is
It's
this one?
Weapons training on page 48.
Yeah.
On the PDF. Gain proficiency in one melee weapon.
You're already proficient in all melee weapons.
Oh.
Yeah, you're proficient in all weapons except crossbows.
Interesting.
Yeah, looking at your class, you're also you can wear light or medium armor. You cannot wear heavy armor. The monk cannot wear any armor.
What page is that on?
Page 20.
Cool.
Under the information for the class.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So, are we just playing humans? Are you just doing a human world?
Just humans, yeah.
So race doesn't do anything in this game?
No, won't be adding any modifiers. You will be, I mean, your ethnicity is important. I think...
And you said there's a background thing that we do yet?
There is... Yes, so we can talk about what your background is going to be. We can roll that randomly, or we can... you guys can figure out what your... what we're going to do after we finish creating these dudes. We'll roll the bonds between the characters, and then we can figure out what the background for the characters is as well.
Okay, so... Gender, whatever, male. I don't really care, human. Age, probably like in his 20s.
Okay.
Height. Let's make him small.
Oh, you know what?
Very small.
Very small, eh? He's a short little one.
Let's see. And do you think we'd put our special ability under features? Kevin?
You can put your special ability under features. Yes, yeah, same place as because it is technically part of your character class.
All right, I got that little section filled in. So then there's a bonds section we should go to.
We're gonna go to. Okay, so you got that down there.
Yeah, I chose Dragon, Dance of Dragons for my skill. I just put it in traits.
Oh, cool. Yeah, your unique feature. Yeah, that's cool. Excellent. So then your AC will be, what's your will modifier? +3. Not bad. So then 3 + 1 is 4. So 14 is your AC. Pretty good.
Class 14.
Okay, and then for Sean, did you pick your signature? Oh, nice. Awesome. That's great.
Yep.
Okay, let's see here.
What did you choose?
Signature weapons. So, it's
Nice.
good, strong barbarian stuff where if he uses a sword, his damage dice explode.
Pretty awesome.
Oh, that's awesome.
Okay, so you are wearing, I'm assuming you're going to be wearing medium armor, Sean. So your AC will be your Dex modifier +13. And that'll be, like, they don't have a difference between the different types of medium. You can call it a chain shirt, scale shirt, breastplate, bone, reinforced hide, monstrous chitin, whatever you would like.
Okay. Is there a special place for armor? Do we know?
It's just you can put that under gear near the bottom.
Cool.
Yeah, so what happens when you click on the tabs, guys, is you get rid of the feature. So it's usually best just to scroll down rather than trying to use the tabs to navigate.
Gotcha.
Yeah. You scroll down, you've got your inventory at the bottom. And then your AC will be what's your dex bonus? +0. Okay. So it'll be
So
13.
Party Bonds is page 51.
Yes, and that's where we kind of figure out what the backstory is between your characters.
Well, and where's the backgrounds section?
Backgrounds is what you kind of, it's a loose narrative. It's on page 49.
Oh, I
And what
see.
this is this is sort of the it's the narrative like kind of catching the stuff that otherwise wouldn't be captured by your skills. So if there's something, because you can use this just like skills.
Right. Right, like you say, I used to do this, so I have some idea how to, I don't know, do X.
Exactly, yeah.
So should I be looking at gear at this point, Kevin?
Yes. First, let's roll party bonds, guys. Each of you. Let's see here. Well, one of you guys give me a D20, please. Let's see what your bonds are. Sean did first. So you guys were guards or militia patrolling a quarter in a city when violent riots erupted.
Ooh.
Nice. Barbarians kind of like riots. It's kind of a thing.
Yeah.
They're comfortable there.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, I was thinking of some kind of a background along the lines of like bodyguard or something like that. Anyway, so that does kind of work with working as a guard.
Yep. Okay.
So maybe I was actually guarding the merchant. Like I was a bodyguard of the merchant, and Sean's character was hired as like the guard of the actual cart or whatever we were doing.
Yeah.
Sure.
And then the riot broke out, and we ended up fighting together and forming a bond.
Okay.
Sounds good. Yeah. An unlikely bond.
Okay. Yeah. The little monk and the big barbarian. Love it. Okay, so then, yes, we do get to do gear next, guys, and we're going to do simplified gear, which is on page, let's see here, page 56. So you'll see what each of you has, and then you also get to pick one melee weapon, one armor, one shield if it's available to your class, and Sean, you're the only one who can use a shield. And then you have 1d6 gold left over. And Jeff, you know how to add stuff into your character.
Oh yeah.
And what you just the list we get, that's on page 53.
It's on page 53. You get that, as well as one melee weapon, one armor, one shield, and 1d6 gold left over. That's why I said you've got the medium armor already.
Gotcha.
Oh, if you click on these, then it actually says you have them. I see. Worn, carried, belt pouch.
Yeah.
Right. It adds them as locations to put things. Okay. So I have a backpack and a coin pouch. A bedroll.
Mm-hmm.
And the actual items are listed somewhere?
The actual items. That I don't know. Let's see. They are listed in... Where are you? Nope, I don't think so.
Okay. So they're just, yeah.
Some of the items are listed under page 50, from 53 to 54, but like the common items are just sort of... Yeah, it's expected you understand what some of them are. Okay. Great. Okay, and then if you take any extra weapons as well too, we just add those to your sheet there. Now, Sean, the only thing that might be you added. It looks like you're doing perfect for adding everything. When you're adding weapons, the only thing you need to do is tick the little box if you're adding notes under there, and then the critical damage for it will be the max damage you can roll plus your level.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Okay, and let me add... I'm going to set something up here before we get going here, too. Okay.
So I'm being kind of slow here. Do we get all the common equipment? We get all of it?
You get the equipment listed under your gear kit, the one on page 43.
Oh, okay. Cool.
Or what? No, hold on, no, it's in 43, but whatever that page was. Excuse me. Yeah, under page 56, the gear pack for your class. So you start with a backpack, coin pouch, bedroll, rations, water skin, tinderbox, torches.
Awesome. That's what I was missing.
Okay, sure. Yeah, no, that's no problem.
That's what I needed.
Oh, your character's name is Null, Jeff?
Yeah.
Love it. Let me change that. Oh, I just didn't refresh. There we go. That's why. Awesome. Okay. And do you have an idea for his background, Jeff?
Yeah, I was thinking bodyguard.
A bodyguard. Okay, cool. Yeah, I love it.
Okay.
And then what about your character, Sean? What do you... So for the ethnicities in... what do you call it? And cultures in Thule, there are... Norse is the predominant one, but there are also... let's see here. There's Inuit. There are Salish, like Western North America First Nations groups. There are Ixians, which are kind of like Middle Eastern or Thracian kind of ethnicity. There's Celts. There's, gosh, what else? Lemurians, which are kind of East Asians.
We'll go with Celt.
Celt, cool. So you're going to want to select or roll randomly a Celtic name.
Okay, cool. There's a table for that?
Not there, but there is in Xanthar's Guide.
Okay, cool.
Which I can... Oop, wrong thing. That's your Celtic.
Where's the list of countries?
Of which countries?
Well, if you said
Ethnicities? Oh, that's not. It's
Yeah.
just it's in my head.
Oh, you just made it up.
Yeah. This is part of this is the setting I use for our.
Oh, this is like Thule.
Yeah, Thule. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Premium assets.
I quite like the artwork in this book.
It's pretty awesome. Yeah, it's well, it's again like really why I wanted to. One of the reasons I first off appreciate you guys taking a deep dive back into this, because I'd hate to write a game off just because I had a poor or I didn't feel I did a very good job with the game. So
Yeah.
plus because we're streaming it too, like I'd hate for folks to get the wrong impression about the game just because of my fuck-uppery. So.
It's good to get another shot at it.
Totally, yeah. Back on that horse. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, that'll work.
And you said I had 1d6 leftover gold coins.
1d6 leftover gold coins, correct.
D6. Come on, gold money. 2.
In addition to my gear pack, you've already told me, but what other weapons do I get?
One melee weapon,
Cool.
one set of armor, and a shield if you are proficient with it.
I think I am.
You are, yes you are, yeah. Absolument.
Okay.
Oh, I got you guys in the wrong... Here, this is the... Sorry. This is the page I should have had you on the whole time. I just realized I had you on the wrong thing there.
Oh, yeah.
Now, do you want to randomly generate your name, Sean? You got a Celtic name in mind.
No, it's random.
Give me a percentile roll, please. Let's see.
Nope.
Anytime people do that, I picture them throwing dice at me.
Right.
97. Okay, so that is Tierney.
Okay. Spell it for me?
Tierney.
Cool.
All right. All right.
Personal dimensions, is that something we just make up, or is there a table?
personal demand. Oh, you can make up. I don't think there's no, because the cultures are not here. Though, hold on, I can grab. Where's my copy of Ash? Okay, let's see here. For Celts. Okay, Celts. Give me a 2D, sorry, 3D6 roll, please.
All right.
For Tierney. And Jeff, what about you? What ethnicity do you think Null is from?
Would you say the options were again?
So you could be Ixian, which is like Thracian or like Middle Eastern. There is, let's see here, Vikings. There are Lemurians, which are kind of like East Asian types. There are, what am I thinking of here? There are Amazonians. There are Hyperboreans, which are kind of like a super tall, pale, kind of Melnibonian type race, like Elric. There are Celts. There are.
So I'm probably like Lemurian.
Sure, if you like, yeah. There's monks coming from every. They're not necessarily restricted to the same species in our planet. So, Sean, you give me a 3d6 roll.
I got it's right there.
It's right. Oh, it's not showing up in mine.
Well, the Amazonians were rare, and so were the last one you said, right?
Yeah.
The
Hyperboreans, yeah. Amazonians
Yeah,
are. Yeah. Okay. And sorry, it's actually not showing up in mine. Jeff, did you see the results of Sean's roll?
No, I just see Tierney is the last thing I see.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Well, what was your result, Sean?
12.
12. So it's 5'9" plus 1d3 inches.
Okay. 5'9" plus 1d3.
And your average height is, or average weight for that is 170. 3. So that one showed up. That's weird.
Okay.
Okay, so you are 6 feet on the nose, and
Okay.
roll it. Give me a d10 roll, please.
Okay.
3. Huh. Give me a 1d4 times 5 roll, please. 3. So it's 15% less. So you are, geez, you're a real rangy type. You're like 153 pounds.
Wow.
Yeah. So you're 6 feet tall and 150 pounds. Basketball player.
Right. Surely that's part of my background.
Yeah, yeah.
My father probably identified me as a runt.
Totally. That could be the source of your fury.
Seriously.
I'll show you, Dad.
It's a natural.
Yeah. Okay. So how are we doing? Let's take a look at the character sheets here. How are we doing for gear and equipment? Looking good, looking good. Okay. Okay, so Sean, did you select your weaponry?
So I've selected a short bow, and for my melee weapon, where's the choices of swords?
Swords will be a couple pages before.
Gear?
Yeah, where those gear packs were. I think page 60 is where the melee weapons are. So there's like short sword, great sword, and long sword or bastard sword. Or rapier, but I'm assuming you're not going to take a rapier.
No.
Okay, let me take a look here. Good. Jeff, did you pick your other weapons as well?
I don't think I had any weapons on my list.
Okay. Oh, you also get one melee weapon. You're not going to get armor. You also get one more melee weapon if you'd like.
Oh, I do.
Yes, you do. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I'll have a. I guess a staff. No, maybe a spear.
Sure. So it's record that, and then remember the weapons. I'm not sure if all, but most have that feature where if you roll a 19, it triggers some kind of neat reaction.
So Tierney gets a shield, right?
Yes. Yep.
Good.
Okay. All right, so I am. I think what we'll start you with is on your way back from somewhere. Let's see. I've used the bar fight rules in our Starfinder, our PF2 session, and they're pretty fucking fun.
Nice.
Okay.
There we go.
Excellent.
That's right.
Yep, that's perfect. Excellent. Okay. So it looks like we've got everything set up there. You don't have to worry about dark and dangerous magic. That's another neat thing with spellcasters in this is they... Oh, see if you can find an image for your guy, Jeff.
Oh, yeah, good idea.
So we'll need a token. And... Great. Okay, cool. So short bow and... what did you pick as your melee weapon?
I think I'm going to go with a... a bastard sword.
Bastard sword. Interesting. Okay. I'm filling in your short sword or short bow for you.
Thank you. Awesome.
Oh, shit. Where's it going to go? And let's see here. Base damage is 1d6. Crit is 9. Okay. And I think that's... Oh. All right. Short bow's in. And you said, what was the other one? Sorry, short...
Bastard sword?
Bastard sword. Hell yeah. Bastard sword does 1d8. Okay, max damage is... your strength bonus is what? +1 or +2?
My strength bonus
+2
is +2.
Okay, so that means it's 10, plus your level is 13 is your crit. And...
It's not easy finding a picture of a rangy barbarian.
yeah, no doubt. If used two-handed...
How do you edit the image? Oh, no. Is there like a button?
To edit, you click on Upload. Or you click on, let's see here, what are you looking at?
You go to Bio Info. But
Bio and Info, top right, there is an Edit button.
Yeah, I don't see it. It's weird.
You should...
All I have is a close.
Maybe close it and reopen it, see if it's there. Because you do have the control to edit, or you do have the option to edit.
Oh, there. Yeah.
Now it's there? Yeah, it's weird. Like it displays as... it was displaying as your previous names as well for a bit. Let's see if I can get it better.
Now, there's a caveat
Yep.
to this picture that it shows like magical lightning on his spear, but the image is just really cool. Ignore the light.
No problem.
maybe someone just cast it on him.
That is pretty fucking awesome. So yeah, Sean, check it out.
Picture, but.
And Sean, you can feel to jettison that rangy stuff if you don't like that. It doesn't fit what you want to play. It doesn't make any impact on the game. So
I don't mind it. It's all good.
okay. Okay, let me load one more thing in here, guys. You're in the slums. La, 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 la. That sounds good.
Nice.
Promising. Okay. Oop. No, I didn't fuck up anything. Let's see. I need. Not small town. Big city slums. That's what I like. Big city slums. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your characters. It sounds like you guys have been traveling together for a while, or are we thinking this is kind of a, Fafford and the Grey Mouser kind of thing? Where you guys have been...
I mean, that would mean if we bonded over that defending the merchant caravan, then we spent a little time together afterwards.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. Be like a case of, well, maybe the person I was guarding, the merchant got killed in the riot, and that sort of released me from that current contract, and so maybe I just headed off with.
Yeah, you suddenly found yourself.
See, Kevin, I don't have an edit button to upload my photo.
Close it down and then reopen it.
Okay. Cool.
I'm gonna do this so I remember to. There we go.
Zero ones. Oh, maybe that's a better option here. Okay. And for those listening at home, we, as I said at the outset, we really didn't have a lot of time to prep. We only really understood that we were going to be playing something different than what we had planned today. So you'll have to forgive the kind of hastily thrown together encounters in here. But we really want to take these heroes and beat the bejesus out of them. There is not a coherent story here. You have nothing to blame but, well, me.
That's not true.
I'm okay. I'm happy to accept blame. I accept no responsibility, so.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay, so we got... Let's see here. Tierney, I'm going to put you guys at the top here, so it's easy to... Oopsies. You guys are suddenly out of there. Boom. Tierney and Null. Ooh, we got a picture for Tierney. What's he looking like? Come on, open up. Oh, that's fucking cool. Check it out. Jeff?
That was the slimmest one I could find.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. All right. Does Tierney have a sobriquet as well? Like a nickname?
Lion Mane.
Nice. Okay. Tierney and Lion Mane. Love it. There are actually, that's pretty cool because there are in the wilds around Tuleborg, not far from there, in the tundra, there are packs of Wemmick, of effectively like lion centaurs that roam around there.
Cool.
Okay, so there's Tierney. Oh, I'm going to put your thing in the bottom. Wrong one, Kev. Come on. We had father and son game night, and I just about called myself dad to you guys. Last night was father and son game night. To that player, I am dad, not...
Right. That's a little too far, Kevin. I mean, we're
yeah. Sign of just how fucking tired I am today. Jeez. Okay, bottom overlapping, name. There we go, guys. Boom. So let me get these, and I'll bring them over to where y'all are right now. Now, I'm going to leave it to you guys. Do you think we are going to be opening this story with... we'll change your names to your character things, too.
Yeah, I did, didn't I?
Oh, you did? Yeah.
I,
Did I already do that? What'd you ask?
Sorry, in your display name. If you could change your display name.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, to be tier name. That'll be great. So there we go. Now, do we want to start with, and I'll leave it to you guys to start off, are we going to start with you guys wandering through the wilderness? Or are we going to start with you guys making your way through the slums of Tuleborg? What do you think?
Jeff, preference?
I mean, my preference is inside the city, but
Sure.
Sure, that works for me. Okay. So let's bring you guys over to the streets of Tuleborg. And there is something that has... Let me roll this here. Oh, it's a D100. Hold on. Okay. 62. So you guys are making your way down to the sort of tavern that everyone, makes their... Here, I'll situate you guys right here. You're making your way towards the tavern that I'm assuming you frequent. Well, there's a couple places you can go in Tuleborg. Let me see if I can quickly load a... hold on here. Picture of Tuleborg so you can see the city of which we speak. I don't think it was that long ago that I loaded it, so it should be fairly easy to find. Tell me about what you guys have been doing the last couple of weeks. What have we know you spent yourself down to kind of your last couple of gold pieces here. What have you guys been up to?
I think maybe we're looking for work where we can work together. So we've been trying to find some kind of a job for both of us. We've sort of formed this friendship. We don't want to lose it by having one of us head off on a different job or whatever. So,
yeah.
Maybe Null doesn't make friends very easily, and so maybe neither of us make friends very easily.
Yeah,
so,
I think that's probably right.
Okay.
The friendships kind of become quite important, and so we're looking for work for two. It's a little harder to find.
Yep. Okay.
A job where both of us can get hired.
Yep.
So we probably spend our mornings doing that, and then our afternoons maybe we've been a little dejected and ending up at this tavern.
Okay. So the tavern, there's a couple of different taverns in Tuleborg. The most kind of the one that most adventurers like hanging out at is a place called the Dragon's Rest, and the Dragon's Rest is run by a guy named Nude. Now, Thule, the actual continent, it basically just appeared off the coast of Hyperborea itself about 10 years ago, a little more. And when its appearance was heralded by this massive, tidal waves that crashed against the shores, and then once it was investigated by some brave Vikings or some Norsemen, it was found that there's this sprawling continent. If you take a look at the handout that is of Thule, it's about the same size as Canada. It's a huge landmass. And within Tuleborg, the first crew that reached here, the Dragon's Fang, all of them died except for one man, a man named Nude. And in the 10 years between when the Dragon's Fang first came to Tuleborg and when the Thane Thurmond Foxbeard brought his clan to settle the city of Tuleborg, which was a freestanding or a city that was stood before men ever got here. They discovered Nude, and Nude had somehow survived that decade of traveling the wilds of this, mysterious continent. And you can see the other handout you've got there is Nude's map. That is a map that has made its that has been basically circulated by all the different all the different people who are seeking to find riches and adventure in what do you call it? In Tuleborg. There it is. Or in Thule, I should say. And here is... Oh, fucking grid. Turn that off. All right, guys. And Nude, since he has basically vowed to never set foot on a ship again, so he has opened up this place called the Dragon's Rest. And the Dragon's Rest, where he will regale, travelers about his experiences in Thule, and people can hire henchmen, and it is a what do you call it? A very, very popular spot to hear rumors about the wider wilds. You can see on Nude's map as well, there's a place called Jernheim to the north. That is a mining community set up by Thane Thurmond. But there's always opportunities for riches and for, adventure here. There are rival factions that are, always at each other's odds. Including the Second Sons, which are a bunch of landless kids of nobles who are trying to find riches out there, including the the Tulian Commerce League, which is trying to find. I think you may have worked for them during one of your ill-fated expeditions, and you guys are on your way. Where do you so other places you could grab as a watering hole? One's up here. Oh.
Well, this one sounds pretty good because we might find work there.
Yeah, it sounds good to me.
There we go. I got my...
Kevin didn't hear that. But the Dragon's Rest sounds pretty good because we might find work there.
Yes, absolutely. Okay.
And so, we might lie to ourselves that the afternoons and evenings we spend here, we're still looking for work. We're not just lollygagging around having drinks. We're actually
carousing is looking for work.
Right, exactly.
Yeah. So here's what's happened in you guys just had met with a let's see here. It's one of the Second Sons. It is definitely not one of the more influential ones, but having met with the guy, it seemed abundantly clear that he is not prepared for the expedition he wants to make out into the wilds of Thule. He does not seem to have a clear idea. He knows he wants to go out and conquer. That's the full extent of what he understands. He doesn't have a goal in mind, doesn't have a place in mind. So it is not, it doesn't strike you as a particularly good place to go. And you had, when you were leaving the docks, or leaving this sort of, dockside place where he's holding court and kind of auditioning henchmen, you're leaving and you can see that the things are getting a little agitated on the docks to the point where a bunch of the stevedores and other dock workers, what you've heard recently is that there's been a couple of recent events. Thane Foxbeard, Thane Thurmond has sent out an armada to the west. Right now, if you're looking at Nude's map here, show you. Boom. So Nude's map, that is basically the area that Nude explored and that he became aware of. They laid, set foot, I should say, first on Thule over here to the west in the Untergang auf Voland. That is the fate of Voland. Voland was the captain of the Dragon's Tooth. But if you compare that to the overall map of Thule itself, you can see that makes up barely an eighth, maybe not even that much, of the overall landmass of Thule. So there's still huge amounts of this land that remain unexplored. In the interest of sort of expanding out and knowing that Viking Drakkar ships can sail very, very far and very quickly, he sent out a whole host of ships to the west to kind of explore further. And unfortunately, what came back was a devastated fleet with only one remaining that was barely able to remain afloat and barely able to navigate. But while it was coming into harbor, a rival ship from Ix, and the Ixians are well-known necromancers. You see that big black tower right here.
Mm-hmm.
That is the domain of the necromancers of Ix. And they were... some say that it was an accident where the two ships collided. Some say that the Ixians intentionally got in the way to cause a problem. But whatever the cause was, the two ships collided and both sank. So the ship that had been... what the survivors found out that they had been set... or the survivors say that they had been set upon by these massive giants. Twice the size of men, wearing, sailing ships that were scaled to match. They set upon them and devastated the fleet. They barely made their way back just to try and tell Thurmond, and now this ship has been sunk in the harbor. That's been a problem for the last, week or so, or 2 weeks.
So one of the ships was the Necromancers.
One of the ships belonged to the Ixian Necromancers, and they were said to have brought supplies in. They were bringing supplies in to trade, and it sank.
And what was the other ship?
That was the lone surviving longship from that doomed expedition.
Okay.
So.
Got it. Of Nude.
Not of Nude. Nude is Nude's been here for a long time. He doesn't set foot on ships. The guy who runs Tuleborg is a Viking thane named Thurmond Foxbeard.
Okay.
And the Foxbeard had sent out that fleet. You can see right over here. These are the shipyards where they've been building them effectively. Keeping them going to try and keep them out and to deal with raiders that are, opportunists preying on here. The reason this is important to you guys is because over the last couple of weeks, especially since a delegation from the, from the mainland, from the Ixians, has arrived, and they seem to be trying to, kind of pull a power play over the Thane and get him to pay for the damage and lost goods. While all of this has been going on, tensions have been getting higher and higher and higher on the docks, to the point right now where you guys, as you left the meeting with this guy, you're making your way away from one of the dockside taverns down here. And it appears, I think you guys can tell me which of you would recognize this, but this place is about to fucking kick off into a riot. You can see that there are guards from Thane Thurmond who are beginning to arrive. All of them are Vikings. All of them are really trained as raiders who don't, that this is not going to be a pleasant or non-violent way of quelling the riot if the stevedores kick off. So what are you guys going to do? You've got the crowds around you that seem to be gathering. For you to get back to the Dragon's Rest. Dragon's Rest is right, I believe it's right here, on the north side of the main kind of bazaar. And the streets of Tuleborg, you can picture, again, it's sort of a mix between, the intrigue that goes on in the Hyborian Zamora, mixed with the sort of constant turnover of people with new money and seeking riches from a boomtown like Deadwood. And this whole city itself is incredibly old. This is built on the walls, the tower that the necromancers use, and even Tuleborg Keep here. All of this stuff was standing when Thane Foxbeard got here.
Okay.
So, yeah, maybe it's Tierney. Yeah. So Tierney, with his sixth sense, he can tell that things are about to kick off. What do we see, guys?
I think the barbarian is looking around and sort of nudges Null because he can see a bunch of that the dockhands that were kind of pushing each other are eyeballing them now.
Yeah.
And it's gone from an inconvenience to this might happen.
I think someone mistakes you because of your how you look and your ethnicity. I think they may mistake you as one of the Thane's men. Right?
Yeah.
I mean, you're Celtic, not Norse, but I mean, you've got pretty blonde hair, so it'd be easy for them to misunderstand.
And they're upset, so they're not looking real hard anyway.
No. So, what happens, guys?
And what is our total party consists of what? It's me, Null, and just us.
Yeah, you guys have not hired anyone. I mean, hirelings are definitely a thing in low fantasy gaming, but with the paltry money that you've put together, and the fact that you guys don't have a plan in place here either, then I'm guessing you're not seeking out henchmen to try and augment your mercenary group. You could. I mean, like, if that's is that sort of what your strategy is, or is it more you two want to work together? You don't want to form a mercenary band.
I think we need cash. So expenses would be something Tierney would be avoiding. Other than
we don't want to hire someone at this point.
I thought not. Okay.
I mean, obviously, drinking and whoring is required, but besides that,
that's why we're really being careful with the last of our money. We're not going to spend it on some other poor schmuck.
Yeah.
So that he can have booze and women.
Okay.
How many bad guys are there?
Well, this is the group that's here that's forming is probably about 50 people. Dock workers, and then there's this is not something you could necessarily. And the guards are certainly outnumbered, but the guards outarm and outarmor the what seems like will be the rioters.
And so the guards are for the town, right?
Yep.
The town watch kind of a type thing.
Yep.
So we can expect them to help keep order, perhaps.
Unfortunately, because it's a boom town, keeping order often means kill them. This is a frontier town. If you think of the sort of what you would use to put down a riot in the Old West or in Gold Rush era Deadwood, that's what's used here. This is a place where life is cheap, and the application of force is very often the first course of action.
Tierney's got no problem with that. He whispers to Null, perhaps we should go sidle up to those guards, and ingratiate ourselves to potential allies.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think we might know some of the guards. We've been bumming around here for enough time.
Asking maybe for work.
Yeah, okay.
Maybe even we've been bugging them for work. So
okay. So let's see here. Just like in other games too, you can characters can aid, or other D20 based games. Characters can assist other characters. If you're assisting, you add is it +2? No, hold on. Let's find out, guys.
Well, there's two opportunities I think that Null sees here.
Yep.
One is to maybe, help the guards and show off some of our skills to maybe increase our value. And the other is if we think the guards are going to be taking out the dock workers, if they're going to put down the riot with death, there may be some opportunity for opportunistic grabbing of downed men's coin purses to extend our sort of,
Yeah.
See, this is part of why Tierney likes Null, too. He's never met a monk like this.
He's opportunistic.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Tierney's irritated. He cutting down some dock workers sounds good to him. He's got two issues with it, though. One, there's a touch too many of them, and two, he'd rather get paid for doing so. So yeah, he's
absolutely. That's why. That's exactly what Null says. Null says, "Dead men need no money. Plus, this is our payment for assisting the guards."
Okay. So let's do this, guys. We shall. It does definitely appear as if things are about to kick off, and I think that the crowd definitely thinks that you are on the side of the guards. Now, whether the guards feel that way or not, we'll have to see as we go. So what's here's how we'll set this up. Let me see here.
Well, they've probably seen us talking to them.
Yeah.
Several times, because like I said, if we're trying to get work or we're trying to.
Yeah. So let's keep this. We'll do theater of the mind for this scene. So there are. I've got rules here for human mobs. So I think there's going to be, as the tensions get higher, you can see the crowds are beginning to sort of push up back against the rioters or against the guards. They're shouting. Rocks begin to be thrown. And the guards are putting out their shields. And finally, one young guard, fed up with the, putting up with this bullshit, finally skewers through one of the rioters. He killed him! And that's when things just kind of go absolutely batshit. Null, are you making it obvious that you are, like, on the side of the guards? I think Tyranny's got no choice in the matter here, but are you sort of, are you going to be assuming that you are, like, will the rioters know that, or are you kind of keeping yourself hidden amongst them?
I think because we're trying to impress the guards, I would make it obvious that we are trying to assist the guards in keeping the riot calm. Like,
okay. All right, so
I don't think I'd be hiding it. I don't think I'd be.
Awesome. Okay, so let's do this here. We'll use... let's see here.
In fact, I think he would ready his spear against the people. Like, if that's what the guards were sort of preparing, or what,
Sure.
like taking a defensive stance, then I think that Null would sort of step up beside them and ready his spear against the people.
Okay. So what I'm going to do, guys, is if I could also use this as the because it's a token here. So each of these will. This is going to represent be an abstracted representation of kind of like a mob of people who are going to be crushing towards you. These are rioters.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Okay, so I was just reading what they've got special rules for swarms in this, and whoa, jeez, let's see what they do. Okay, and what I'll do is I'll set a bar on here as well too, so you guys can judge kind of where the health is going, because the game's new to all of us here. So let me think here. It's jeez. Now, one thing I want to mention as well is a thing called exploits that you can do in here. So there's three kind of exploits we need to be aware of. One of them is the minor exploit. Minor exploits are basically what you would consider maneuvers or things like that in Pathfinder. So it's shoving, it's tripping, it's disarming, it's that kind of stuff. It replaces your attack. You can also, that costs you nothing to do. We just resolve it in a way different from what the normal attack would be. There is also major exploits. Major exploits are really badass, heroic maneuvers that you guys make, and what they do is they replace your attack. No, they are in addition to your attack, and they do something to assist you that is not damaging. So examples they give is like, shooting a Tyrannosaurus in the eye, so it's got a 33% miss chance, or something like that. You're imposing some kind of condition on the other party without actually, that isn't just flat extra damage. In addition, I guess the downside to that is that you do need to make a luck roll, and if you're successful, you spend a point of luck. Like, you actually lose a point of luck for that. Is that right? Yes, you make a luck check. If you succeed, you reduce your luck by 1, and then that effect takes. So that can be done on any of your attacks, and it's sky's the limit with what you guys want to come up with. The final kind of exploit is rescues. A rescued attempt is basically when something really shitty would happen to some other character. You make first a dex check or some other kind of check, and then you make a luck check. If you're successful, you take away whatever bad thing was going to happen. So, like, say, I get an amazing roll on my dragon, and it's going to annihilate Null. Tierney, you could try and do a rescue exploit.
Cool.
And you can do that off turn. Okay. Now, guys, here's how initiative works in this. Yeah, there we go. What we are concerned... Oh, wrong thing. I'm going to add your character tokens in here, and... what we do, so if I'm going to get you each to click on your initiative token, but what we're concerned with is whether you succeeded or failed. That tells you whether you act before the bad guys or after the bad guys. And then we go turn by turn. So what it is a dex check. So just so you understand what's being rolled, but just click on your initiative and let's see how you do. You don't bother to clicking on the token either because it won't show up. Great success for Tierney. Nice.
Good start. See, Tierney's eager. Like,
he's ready to go.
Let's get this going.
How about null?
Ooh.
Oh, failure. Okay. So that means that Tierney goes before the enemies, Null goes after them, but first up is Tierney. So this crowd of... let me just quickly double check here what they do. All targets within reach. Half damage from weapons, double damage. Okay, so... Oh man, that's awesome. Okay, so these things, this crowd of riders comes rushing into you. Ah! Down with the Foxbeard! Kill the Foxbeard!
So Tierney is going to fight his instincts to immediately rage and and slaughter as many peasants as dock peasants as he possibly can.
Yeah.
And instead, going to do something relatively unnatural, but because of the obvious situation and the very quick and minor discussion he's had with his comrade Null, and call out to the guards. So he's going to, if he has access to one, he will call access to a name. He'll call out a name like, he'll go like, Peter, trying to establish the most basic of connection.
Okay.
That, it's us.
Okay.
We're not them.
Okay. I'll let you... Well, let's do this. So that'll be a free action, and then you can do your action. So each turn... Sorry, guys, I should say as well. Each turn, you get a move up to 30 feet, unless you've got some ability that makes you move faster, and you get an action, so you can attack or whatever. Let's have you do a... Let's see. I think that'll be... It's going to be a charisma roll of some kind. Ooh, leadership.
Nice.
Yeah, give me a leadership check, please.
All right. Now, let's see. Let me find my way around here.
Oh, sorry. If you don't have leadership as a skill, it's just a charisma check. It just means that you don't get the +1 to it, and you don't get You don't get access to your reroll pool. Let's see how it goes over here.
I'm pretty sure.
You know what? I will give you advantage on it because you have been trying to position yourself towards that. So just click the drop-down bar next to your attribute for charisma, and then click on roll.
All right.
Great success.
Nice.
Awesome. So yeah,
So I think the direction, having a few more seconds now to have thought about it, Tierney wants to say he wants to use a guard's name. He's like, this is just narrative, but if possible, he's like grabbing Null by the belt, and striding towards the guards, and using the guard's name in his discourse. He's saying, "We all need to listen to the city watch," and trying to make eye contact with the guy whose name he's called out.
Yeah. So just before the riders crush into the guards, you definitely, that happens. They see it. They know that so long as that guard survives this encounter, they will know that you were on their side.
Now we got to defend that guard and all.
Okay. So then now you get an actual attack, or if you'd like, because these things will be attacking you.
I would very much like to do that.
These things. Listen to what a capitalist I am, talking about the working classes things rather than. Good God!
Get in there. They're not paid clients to the attorneys, so it's whatever.
Exactly. Okay, so as these people come rushing in towards you, and these are hardened men and women. Like these are people who routinely bring shit out and back to the dock. So like these are pretty tough guys and ladies.
Do they bleed?
Do they bleed? We'll have to find out. So what are you doing?
Find out. He would not have had his weapon drawn. So I don't know how that works. You
can draw it out.
Okay. Yeah. Pulls his bastard sword out.
Yeah.
His shield is probably strapped to his back at this point.
Okay.
I don't think he'd probably be welding that at this time.
Okay, so two-handed?
Two-handed.
What's he doing?
Let's go of Null's belt. and adds the other hand onto the sword and just starts hewing his way towards the guard.
Nice. Okay. So go ahead and click on your bastard sword. We know you got +1 damage because you're using it two-handed, so long as you hit.
All right, now let's walk through it just because it's the first time. So let's see. So the dice explode. Is that?
That's it'll. So your dice will be, if you see green, if you hit and you see green
Okay.
around your damage, that means you rolled max. Then you will roll another D8 and add it to it.
Good. And let's review my features here. If there's something that.
Sure.
Okay, so signature weapon, we already covered that because that's a dice exploding.
Yep.
He's interested in raging now, if that's an option.
Yes, absolutely. I think it's a free action to do that.
He's held off as long as he possibly can.
Here's what you do. You see how you've got 4 to 4. Just bring your class features down by 1.
Okay.
Because you've used one of your class features.
I know what you're saying now. Yes.
Yep. And
Got
then,
it.
I don't know, how long does your rage last?
Good question.
Does it say?
You know what? It sounds
number
familiar.
of rounds equal to your Constitution modifier.
Cool. So that's 2.
2. Okay, so you got 2 rounds. So you're starting to rage now. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't hold back any longer. He's had it. He's just had it. And
Nice.
I see a die roll next to ferocious rage. Do I need to click that, or are we good with that?
No, that will display it in chat. We know it's for 2 rounds. You're raging. Why don't you click on it and we'll display it in chat. There we go. So we know. So 2 rounds of that. You have 2 more uses, and you get +2 to hit, +2 to damage on this as well. So
excellent.
Let's go ahead and make your attack roll.
All right, and we're going to add the modifier manually. I assume. Okay.
Okay, and that is an 18. Technically, it is actually a 20. So that is a huge hit. 8 damage, and you didn't explode.
Yes.
But it's +2 damage, so it's 11 actually in total.
Cool.
Okay. So what does it look like as you start hewing into these guys?
Yeah, just the closest unfortunate near him. He just levels his sword into his side.
Yeah.
Hopefully, just casting it aside too. Just because he just wants to keep moving towards the guards.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna put you guys down here, because both of these crowds are going to be attacking both of you. All right, so
he's
Tierney
hoping
begins
to get hit by a little bit of blood spray too.
Yeah.
He just wants the whole thing to get going.
Okay, so next up will be the swarm. So I get an attack against each of you guys. Let's see here. I'm going to do.
And I guess it's 10 damage, right? Because I got +2 to damage rolls as well.
And +1, so it's 11 damage in total because you're using it two-handed.
Good job. Good job.
And then
nice.
Because this is a swarm, because there's so many of them, it's half weapon damage.
Oh,
so
got it.
So you're cutting your way through these guys.
Good work.
Okay, I'll use the black dice for Tierney. Whoops, and red dice for Null.
Cool.
And let's see here. Nat 1. So here's an interesting feature that I learned yesterday. I rolled a Nat 1 on Tierney's attack, which means you get to make an attack. That's how fumbles work.
Oh, interesting.
So this thing fumbled. Go ahead and click on your attack again. Jeff, does a 15 hit your AC?
Yeah, just.
Oh. Okay, so you take. There's damage. Oh, okay, here we go. And I want to double check one thing here, just because I make sure I wasn't fucking up something from last time. Attacks. Hit dice. Let's see here. Hit dice. Hit dice. Hit dice. Okay. So then, Jeffrey, you take. Let's see here. 3 points of damage when one of them clarks you in the head. And then it is a miss. Oh, and AC 10. That is not good. Okay, so
I missed that one.
Yeah. So you're not able to bring. Although they given an opportunity, you swing wide with it.
Overeager.
Yeah. And then the second attack does a 16 hit you, Tierney.
Okay. Let's see here. My AC is listed where? Oh, armor class 10.
No, you should, because you're wearing scale armor.
I am.
So 13, what's your dex modifier?
My dex modifier is 0.
0, so 13 AC. And I'm sorry, Jeff, what was your AC again?
14.
14. Okay, I'll write it down so I don't keep asking. You take 1 point of damage to your name.
Okay.
Okay, then, guys, it is Null's turn. What are you doing, Null?
Well, we're here to impress the guards, so he turns his spear head in, and he uses his spear as sort of like a catapult, and he will activate his Heaven's Leap.
Okay, what does that do? Whoa! Very cool.
Monkey jump, so spend one of my 3 points.
Okay.
And I will leap sort of over the crowd and land beside the guard that Tierney called out to.
Yeah.
And then turn my spear back the other way and sort of be defending him.
Okay.
Like protecting this guard.
Okay.
So
now,
I'll make an attack against the people that are...
because you are moving away, though, I think they get an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
Let's see here. So let me make a quick attack on you. That does hit. You take 4 points of damage. And you land there, so that will... that's just your move. Do you want to make an attack on the crowd?
Yeah, against the people that are...
And what I'll say is that you have positioned yourself so it's only one of the crowd. So now, before each of those 2 swarms were attacking both of you guys, each of the mobs attacking both. Now only one can attack each of you. Okay, so go ahead and make your attack. And remember, Jeff, you get a second attack as well. As long as you're being unarmed. Or you can do one with your spear if it's one-handed. And then another one with your... fist, which is not at disadvantage. But if you're using two-handed and then kicking, so if you're using a two-handed weapon and then you're also attacking with your unarmed, then it's at disadvantage.
Okay.
Okay.
So for this round, I'm just going to use my spear.
Okay, well, that means you can still... fumble. Oh, no!
Oh, Lord.
Okay. Fortunately,
Wow.
the counterattack misses. And then you... Also, was that two-handed or was that one-handed?
Yeah, that was two-handed.
Two-handed. You still can make one unarmed attack at disadvantage.
He looks at his spear, and he throws it away. He throws it behind himself,
Nice.
and turns and just headbutts the person in front of him.
Awesome. Go ahead and make an attack roll. So at
this
disadvantage.
is at disadvantage. So how do I do that?
The drop down menu.
there. Yes, I see it. Oh my god.
Oh my god!
roll 20, just.
Oh jeez. Fortunately, that counterattack likewise misses you, but you've landed right in the middle of a bunch of people who are trying to kick the shit out of you.
Yeah.
That is the end of the round, guys. Go ahead and click on your initiative. It's top of the round initiative again. Let's see who's acting before the crowd. Okay, so Tierney's acting after, but Null is acting before. Null, go ahead.
All right, this time Null is just going to make 2 unarmed attacks.
Okay.
He's realized that bringing his head in was a little dangerous, so he's just gonna start throwing some big kicks.
Okay, go ahead.
Wow! What?
Do you be set to only
once in a row on a D20?
Okay, hold on. Try rolling again. I just want
How do you roll 3 ones
what
in
is
a row?
going on here? Go. We'll ignore that one because that's fucking crazy.
And a 3.
Oh god.
Wow.
Okay, so let's so that this 3 is going to be your second attack. That is a miss. Go ahead and roll one more time. I don't know what's going on with your dice rolls. Jeez.
That's amazing.
3. Okay, so you were not having a lot of success against these things, but fortunately it's not.
Wow.
It could be you're just playing the wrong game, Jeff. That could have been 3 monumental critical hits.
Yeah. All right,
Yeah,
so here.
that's true. Yeah.
The first crowd against Null, nat 20. So, Null, you take 10 points of damage. What do you think, what do we see in the fiction of this?
No,
the crowd is
it
just...
doesn't happen. He uses his monk technique of form of... I think it's supposed to be form of the river? Did I just type it wrong? Oh, fork the river.
Fork the river, okay.
Yeah.
What does that do?
Fork the river. I'm going to click on it so you can see.
Pretty cool. When damaged by melee, make a will check to transfer the damage to another enemy. Excellent, okay. So give us a will check, please. Just click on your will.
So I want you to click on this dice here. Yes.
Nice. There's where your 3s are helping. Okay, so then instead of 10 damage, it's 10 damage to the crowd, and because it's swarm on swarm, I'll allow that to be full damage.
He's just like redirecting all of the blows. He's not landing anybody, he's just blocking everything.
That's awesome. Boom, boom, boom. These guys are, one tries to hit someone with a chair, and you shove another guy in the way, and he gets smashed down by it.
Yeah, typical martial arts movie.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, and then the crowd on Tierney. Let's see here. There's no way that hits. So you're able to keep yourself at a distance. Tierney, what are you doing this round? You are still raging for another 1 round.
Tierney is just refusing to stop striding and swinging in the direction of the guards.
Okay.
And null.
Okay. Now here's something.
Ooh.
Whoa, big hit. Okay. So that is +1 damage, two-handed, so it's 10 damage. Okay.
And still raging, right?
Yep. Oh yeah,
So
plus
that's
2 more, so another
yep.
1.
So 12 total.
Yep. Let me take a look at exploits. I want to see if you could try to give you an example of it. Right now, one of the troubles you're having is that you're having damage against them because of it's a swarm. There's so many of them. I wonder if you could use an exploit to basically do AoE damage for 1 round.
That'd be a major, it sounds like.
Yeah, I think it's major. Yeah, I'd let you try that if you want.
Sure, how would that work?
So here's what I would... the way it works is you need to make a luck check.
Okay.
Okay, and you got to give me a cool description of it, and then you'll make a luck check. So you click on your luck, and then if you're successful, it costs you 1. Uh-oh.
No luck. I had no luck.
Now, however, you do have access to your reroll pool, which is equal to your level. So you could reduce your reroll pool by 1 and reroll that. You can always reroll luck checks.
Definitely re-rolling.
Okay. So reduce your reroll pool down to 2.
Did
Fuck.
that?
Oh, okay. So
Best
fortunately,
laid plan.
doesn't cost you anything, but you...
Well, it cost me the re-roll, right?
It costs you the reroll pool. That's right. Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So you still did damage to it. It's just you didn't do the full AoE damage. That is the end of the round, guys. Go ahead and click on initiative. Let's see who's going before the crowd.
Here we go.
Nice.
Ah! No.
Okay. Tierney, you're up next. What are you doing? You are out of your rage now. So you could choose to spend another use of that and get 2 more rounds worth of rage.
I am, yeah. I mean, this is the time. What am I saving that for other than riots?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah, re-raging, upset. Once not nearly enough blood has been spilled here yet. This is just getting started.
Yeah, yeah.
So he wants to get closer to Null and the guards. So he's going to focus on getting there while killing.
Okay. Now let me see here. There's something. Okay, interesting. Jeff, give me a D20 roll, will you?
Yep.
8. Okay.
Wheat.
Oh, so that's and then Sean, would you give me a D20 roll as well?
Alrighty.
So, what you see, Jeff, is that that same soldier that you've been trying to help. He has just been knocked to his knees, and someone has picked up his spear and is about to skewer him with it.
Oh.
And Tierney, what you see is that a blaze, as is often the case in riots, a blaze has broken out, and a thick smoke is wafting through the air, and it looks as if it's going to very quickly spread, and no one is taking action on this.
Okay.
Okay. So
Now, because my initiative's behind them, is there anything I can do to help him?
to help the
Guard?
yes, if you choose to, that will at the end of the round is when that will affect. What I'm
Oh,
doing,
okay.
yeah,
Yeah, you're just in. Yeah, yeah.
the
Okay.
game's got rules for mass combat as well too. So what I'm doing is because it's such a big fracas here, I'm using critical events from that to to determine kind of like things that are happening during this big fight. So yeah, and okay, so who first up is Tierney then? Tierney, what are you doing?
How far away do you think Tierney is from the guards and Null at this point?
You're probably right near them. Like, I guess the thing that is more important is what is it you're trying to achieve by being there? You've already made yourself known that you're trying to defend them. You can. I'm not sure you see that from where you are, you're not able to get advantage on that spear going in the guy. What you are able to see is that there's a fire breaking out that's going to spread to some of the dockside taverns.
I mean, it's Tierney's. It's more of Tierney's. He'd prefer to keep hewing, but with sheer annoyance, he decides to go ahead and try to be clever, and he screams out. Fire! The fire might destroy the docks. Fire! So they're dock hands. So
Sure.
he's trying to elicit their, to trigger their concern for the docks.
Yep.
For their livelihood, and whatnot.
Yeah. Why don't you give me a leadership check, and I'll give you. See, I would give you advantage on it because that obviously appeals to their interest, but also it's a riot. So I think it's just going to be a flat leadership, so a charisma check, I guess.
Okay.
Let's see how that goes. Terrible failure. Oh my god. Okay. So I think like instead of like save your jobs, you're like you bunch of stupid fucking. It's
Well, I think they could ignore me, so I start insulting them more.
Yeah. Okay. So, basically, I mean, I think that more of them have crowded in on you to terrible failure. I'm going to make a second attack on you this round. That's what I'll do. Or maybe I'll make the attack at advantage. That's what I'll do instead. Okay, so that's that. Now you have your action if you'd like. What would you like to do?
Well, I'm definitely hewing. I'm raging, right? I mean, I said I wanted to rage, so I'm raging.
Yeah. Did you want to try that exploit again?
Let's see. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Now,
so first make your attack roll.
Okay, make the attack roll. Right?
Yep.
Here we go.
Nice, very nice. And that's okay. Now, first off, give us a D8 roll.
Yes.
Because that exploded. So that's actually 13 or 11. That's 18. This is a situation where having it apply as AoE would be incredibly useful.
Yes.
So, give us a luck. If you do want to do that major exploit again, give us a luck check.
Sure. There we go. It's all coming together now.
Nice! Success! Okay, so you're going to reduce your luck by 1.
Yep.
And then what does this look like as you hew into these guys?
Well, I thought it was good, guaranteed success. I mean, I thought that yelling fire, I had this thing, I was all over it. They completely ignore me and just doing their own thing.
Yeah.
So I just start spinning with my sword. I'm just like cutting people all around me.
Yeah.
Just screaming, yelling, insults.
Awesome. Okay, so you've completely dispersed that one group. Okay, so then the other group here. Let's see here. Null. So they're going to attack you. Nat 1. Go ahead and give me an unarmed attack.
Nice.
I'm rocking the Nat 1s tonight. Jeez.
Oh, so am I.
15. 15 is, I believe, good enough.
Hey,
Yes,
I
it
rolled
is.
over 10.
Yep. Yeah, yep. Okay, so then they take 2 points of damage.
Yeah.
All right. So they one of them clumsily kind of comes in, and you hear him coming from a mile away. You turn, and you're like a quick kick to the face drops this guy down. Now it's your turn, Null. What are you doing?
I'm gonna move to interpose myself between me and the person about to attack this guard.
So why don't you give me... what's the... Are you forcing your way through the crowd? Are you kind of like dancing and leaping on...
I think I'm gonna use acrobatics if you want me to.
Yep, I'd definitely buy that. Go ahead and give me an acrobatics check.
Here we go.
Ooh. However, now, because it is something... It's a skill you're trained in, you can spend a reroll to reroll if you want.
Yeah, let's try that.
Want to reroll pool? Okay.
That's a nice,
Great success. Go. Wow.
Nice.
So what does it look... I mean, that's an amazing success. What does it look like as you get in there?
I think it's just like, again, it's like your typical martial arts movie. He's just, not only is he moving over there, but he's like, sliding between people's legs and, dodging blows and things that you just wouldn't expect to see a normal person do.
Okay, and because of the great success, I'll say that you don't draw an attack of opportunity from moving.
Nice.
Okay, so you go racing over there. That is the end of the round, guys. Each of you roll initiative, please.
All right.
Let's see what our order is going to be. Fail. Okay.
We both got a 20.
We did.
Oh, jeez.
On initiative. This game is so frustrating because it's like some things are high and some things are low.
Yeah.
So like, if you're getting like 1s and 20s on the wrong thing, it's so funny.
Yeah. Okay, so the crowd is going to disperse out enough so they're going to be able to attack each of you guys. And let's see here. It does not hit Tierney, but Null, you're once again hit. Gosh, 5 points of damage this time.
Okay.
That guy, I think, who you took the spear from, or maybe like his ally, it comes in and kind of whacks you with a what do you call it, like a belaying hook or something like that. One of you guys gets to go next. Who wants to go next? There's still that fire burning, Tierney.
Sure. You want to go?
Yeah, sure. I'll just make some attacks against the crowd here, sort of standing over this guard.
Okay. And you could also, Jeff, if you want to try and do an exploit, you could try and do something similar.
So, so what are the exploits?
So what the exploits are is it is some neat stunt that you do that doesn't just modify damage. So what Sean did is he used an exploit to basically use massive sweeping blows to add an AoE effect to his sword.
Oh, I see.
And that allowed him to, because the swarm right now, you're taking half damage, or they're taking half damage from every weapon, normal weapon attacks. But if you were attacking in some kind of roundhouse technique or something like that.
Well, I think what he's going to be doing is he's going to be attacking in such a way. What he's after is protecting the guard. So I don't know, try to impose disadvantage on attacks against the guard.
Yes. Yep. He's absolutely
fighting. Yeah. Okay. Sort of recklessly fighting for himself. But
so why don't you give us a luck?
So that's a luck roll.
That's a luck roll. Yeah. Nice. Okay. And so reduce your luck by 1.
So set the score down and leave the max.
Yes, exactly.
It's not a permanent change, right?
No, it's not a permanent change. It's just for you're spending...
every time you do it, it gets harder and harder.
Every time you get 6... Exactly. And then that's also your saves as well, too. So it's this diminishing resource that gets more challenging. The longer you get into the game, it raises the tension of it.
Yeah.
But yes, you definitely... No one's going to have an opportunity to attack this guard. Now go ahead and make your attacks. Oof, not good enough. That definitely hits. Oh, but crap damage. Jeepers.
Yeah, the damage is flipped. A bad roll with max damage, and then a good roll with minimum damage.
Okay. So once again, 1 or 2 guys go. Tierney, you can see there's the fire burning in the one direction, and then there is this big crowd that is beating the shit out of Null, and there's still probably about 7 guys that are, laying into him or trying to lay into him.
Can I both try the fire ruse again and lay into someone that's threatening Null?
Yes, you can. Sure, yeah, that's fine. So go ahead and give me a leadership check again. No, so charisma, I guess.
Yep.
Great success. Yeah.
There we go. Ooh, nat 1.
Nat 1 too. So having carved these guys down, what is it that you say to another group of these rioters?
Well, I mean, they're basic doc idiots in Tierney's. Like this was not surprising, I guess. So he with with sort of a exasperated, like, the fire's coming this way, you imbeciles. That kind of and it kind of like clicks. They're upset, they're angry, they're beating on someone, who knows who.
Yeah.
And they finally like, what? Fire? And then maybe there is a fire. Kind of idiocy in the middle of a riot. And they start looking around rather than swinging.
Okay, love it. So then there's, and like these guys all act in crews anyway, so one or two of the like captains of the crew start directing people, and now there's buckets, and they're going to end up putting that fire out. So they're going to deal with that. That will not be a concern for you. You turn towards the riders that are beating the shit out of Null, and what do?
Stick a sword in one.
Okay, go ahead and make your attack roll.
All right.
Tierney lays into them.
Still, I think is this my last raging?
No, did you start a second rage?
I did a second rage.
Second rage, then yes, you still have one more round of raging.
Okay.
Come on.
Pretty low.
Oh, but with your +2 from raging, that does actually hit.
Okay.
Yeah, so then it is 7 points of damage.
Yes.
Okay. So you kind of race up behind and,
I just stick it in. There's just no drama here. Yep.
Another one goes down, but they still are pretty active. Okay, that's the end of the round, guys. Go ahead and roll initiative. We'll see what order you work in. Tierney's before.
And...
Oh, no. Okay. All right, so Tierney, you're up first. What are you doing?
I just hack another one down. I mean, this is,
Yeah.
I don't need to be a fair fight. That is completely unnecessary.
Exactly.
I just cut another dock worker down.
Okay, so you're not raging any longer?
Right. No, not raging now at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm calming down. Like, it feels like, the riot's dispersing a little bit.
Yeah.
This feels like cleanup now, like,
Yep.
Oh, good. Let's, there we go.
There you are. Nice. So that is 9 points of damage. Okay, another couple. There's 2 more guys who you, one of them you smash in the back of the head and he falls down. One turns to face you, and then you slash across his chest and he falls to the ground, crying out in pain. But then it is their turn. Let's see here. First against Tierney. That does hit. One of them gets in and gets you for 2 points of damage.
Okay.
And then against Null. That is not a hit. You're able to keep these guys. Some of them are coming in, but the sweeping and ducking and whatever that you were doing to keep people at bay from the guard is keeping them at bay as well, too. Your turn, Null. What are you doing?
So I need to do this luck roll every turn if I want to keep imposing
exactly.
this, right?
If you want to keep doing that, yeah.
So let's try that again.
Okay. Well, hold on. You know what, Jeff? So not to work the fiction here, but because you've already spent a resource on that, I'm fine with that being the result. You position yourself so that there isn't enough.
Okay.
Yeah, but here's the trade-off for it will be more rioters.
They're coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah. And
like a boat unloaded or something.
Yeah. It's like they were all drinking in the bar, and then the bar door throws open and they're all like, "Yeah, get him!"
It's a riot!
Yes. Okay.
Oh, jerks.
All right. Okay. And okay, so you did roll that. Were you hoping?
I just clicked it before you said that. It was.
So, is there another exploit that you might want to take advantage of, like AOE? Going into a crazy kung fu flurry.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that makes sense. Let's,
okay.
He sees that his sort of normal attacks are just not enough against such a big crowd that he's got to, sort of make attacks that are, hitting more than one person, maybe not doing as much damage, quote unquote,
Yep.
to each individual, but just enough to sort of take them out of the fight.
Absolutely. Okay, go ahead.
Sort of like a Steven Seagal type.
Yeah. Give us a unarmed attack here.
Okay.
See, and for both of these, I'll apply at normal damage. Woo!
Nice.
Boom!
Nice.
Oh man! So that whole first
Perfect time for that.
Yeah. So that first crowd is completely dispersed. You've got just this second one coming in. And
I think since this is sort of a bit of a bloody kind of game, I think it's very Steven Seagal. He sees like he's just, he's broke a few people's arms. He's, snapped a few fingers, done things that would like take someone out of a fight.
Yeah, because it doesn't need to be
noses, like things that would get people to stop fighting.
Yeah.
He sort of stopped pulling his punches and just,
Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. Now that the members from the bar have come out, I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna take advantage of the bar brawl table because it's hilarious.
Cool.
So that is the end of that round, guys. Top of the round. Go ahead and make your dex checks. Let's see who's acting when. Nice. So Tierney's before. And Null's before. Nicely, guys. Okay, so
Nice.
Who wants to go first? And before whoever goes first, give me a D20 roll, please.
So, Kevin, a bunch of them are working on the fire, but a bunch of others came flying out of the bar and attacked, right?
Yeah.
And how are the guards doing?
Guards are okay. Null has positioned himself, so the one that was injured is okay. What we're going to do at the end of this... Oh, actually, here, I got another interesting idea. Why don't you each give me a D20 roll first? We're going to make things completely fucking chaotic for you.
Nice. 7 I got.
Okay. And...
Roll a D20, Sean.
Oh, it's not showing, huh? I did.
Oh.
Yeah, I don't see it.
Lay on your...
Got a 13.
13? Okay. Is it whispered to yourself or something like that?
No, I don't know. No explanation. No, it's not whispered. I just
But it's also sometimes when you click your attack, it'll say what happened, and I'll see yellow boxes, and then like a few seconds later, the numbers fill in.
Because he's got it set to actually. Do you have an actual dice that's rolling in front of you?
I do.
That's why.
Oh, really? It's. You're talking about but not the disappearing ones though.
The disappearing one, I don't know why that's happening.
Right.
Okay. Sorry, guys, I completely lost. Did I mark one of these? Or...
Oh, like when you click roll, like on the screen of Roll20, it shows some rolling dice. Like there's an animation.
Yeah. I usually have that for the games. I kind of like it, but it's up to you.
Oh,
no, it's fine.
I've never. I must have turned it off right away and just like never.
Well, I think it defaults to off for every new game you're in.
So you got to turn
check those boxes under settings if you want the dice.
Oh yeah, enable 3D dice. I'm trying it for my next call just to experience it.
I have a good time. Yeah.
Okay, so let's hear a 7, and then yours was a 13.
13.
Oh man. Okay, and 13. Okay. Let's do this instead. 7. Whew. Someone fell down, Null. And there is some loot to be grabbed.
Oh yes. Exactly what Noel was keeping his eyes out for.
Give me a D100 roll there, Null.
Nice.
/roll.
Let's see.
What? Oh, what? Now it went to like. Oh, there we go.
Okay, and that's not showing up in chat either. Maybe let's turn off the physical dice because it's not showing. I don't know why, but it's when you guys are rolling just the dice, it's not showing up in chat. So
interesting. It did do it.
Yeah. What's your result?
57.
57. It's weird because Sean, like you've had that on in other games too, and we haven't had that problem. So so 57. Okay, so then Jeff, give me a 6d10. That's how much gold you steal off this guy. And I'm sorry, 13 was what you rolled?
Yes.
Oh, shit! A world of hurt. A spear, a javelin, or a black powder weapon strikes you in a vital location.
Strikes Tierney?
Tierney, yeah. Uh-oh. Okay. One sec here. That'll be on...
Oh, how much did you tell me to roll?
60d10, please.
Oh,
That
wow.
doesn't sound good. Let's see.
That does not sound good at all. Let's see here. Injuries and setbacks. Where is that?
28.
Oh. Give me a d6 roll, please, Tierney.
Okay.
So you're saying I found 28 gold coins?
2. Yeah, 28 gold coins in this guy.
Oh, wow.
Oh, shit. You get an arm or hand injury. So spear comes flying in. You can't hold anything with 2 hands, and you can only hold one object at a time.
Okay.
Make a luck con save. On a success, the limb is damaged and can be mended with either 2 months rest or a spell. Otherwise, the limb is lost.
Holy shit! One-armed Tierney?
What spurred? So what was the?
This is this is a sudden twist from the mass battle table.
Okay.
So this is the thing. So that where Null saw this at the ground and you hit that. Okay, so, whew, first let's make a con save. So it's it's a luck, and then what is your con modifier?
+2.
Okay, so then you get +2 to it. So, what is your current luck right now?
12.
12. So it's a 14 or less. Oh well, hold on. No, you've been spending every exploit cost that was successful cost you 1 luck.
Oh, okay.
So-
I did it twice.
You've done 2 at least. Yeah. So you're down
So
to
it's 10.
Yeah. So you're at a luck of 10 right now. So 12. Oh boy. Okay, so go ahead and make a luck roll, and then you're at, so it's a luck and +2. So we know you're rolling against a 12. Nice.
There we
Okay.
go.
Phew. Give me a d6 roll one more time. Let's see where it's hit. A 5. Below the elbow. So it is one of your hands, I guess.
Okay.
So,
Gotcha.
give us a d6 roll. It's your dominant hand on an odd roll. It's your dominant hand. I'm not going to impose any penalties for attacks, but just you can narratively think of that. So you were wielding your bastard sword 2-handed, and then a spear comes by and shreds one of your hands. Ah! You know you're not going to be able to carry something with 2 hands for a while. You can put this under your injuries area there.
All right.
Holy shit. Alright, so Null, you hear him scream out as well. Oh boy. Now, going back to the initiative here, that was both of you guys succeeded in initiative, which means both of you guys are acting before this crowd now, as this bar crowd comes in. Now, not to overload you guys with stuff here, but Jeff, well, who wants to go first here, Null or Tierney?
Tierney's wreathing. Tierney's kind of wreathing with his hand at the moment. You want to go, Null?
Sure.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jeff, give me a D20 roll, please.
Okay. 11.
11. Duck! A shower of mugs, bottles, and plates hurtle towards you. Would you give me a dex check, or you'll take damage from it? Apparently the staff in the bar is on the side of the rioters, and they're throwing shit at you.
Okay, so
This
I roll
town, I tell you.
dex.
Dex check, please, yeah. Easy,
Nice.
yeah. So you duck underneath this thing. Now you can take your action. What do you want to do?
I'm going to try the luck roll again to sort of continue to fight. End this now as quickly as possible, especially since he's seen that Tierney just got injured.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and give me a luck check.
Ugh.
You can spend a reroll on that if you like.
I might as well.
Okay.
Got a couple left.
Oh. See, that no penalty. You just don't do it. So go ahead and make your 2 attacks then.
But it still costs you the luck, right?
No, only if you succeed.
Oh, only if you succeed. Oh, that's a nice feature.
Yeah, if you roll 20 on it, that's when something really bad could happen.
Oh, okay. I
Yeah.
see. Yep. So here we go. So they're just regular attacks.
Okay, that's unfortunately a miss. That one
And
is a
then a
hit. Nice. Okay. All right, so you start going in and boom, boom. You know, 2 of them are down. Tierney, what are you doing?
So, well, he's gonna, he's gonna regrip his sword one-handed, which is doable.
Okay.
And
Now, you know what, guys? I'll just want to point out one thing. So just so we can, you can make your decision if you want to play out this reaction. So a rescue exploit that I mentioned, that's the other kind of exploit you can do. It's you leaping to the help of an ally. That's one of the ways to get around the really these potentially really shitty results. So Null, if you can come up with a description of how maybe you saw that spear being lined up and you could try and protect him. The rescue exploit is a dex check and then a luck check, and if you succeed, he ignores that effect.
Oh, I see. Okay, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So right.
So do you want to try and we're going back to Bomb Berlin here, but we're all learning the rules.
Yeah, we're just learning the game, so
okay.
I mean, to me that's always fine in a first playthrough.
For sure, yeah.
Bomb Berlin. So I roll a dex check?
Yeah, so first it's a dex check to position yourself in a place where you could protect him.
Okay.
Let's see here. Come on. Nice! You are absolutely there.
halfway.
And because you got a dex check, I'll give you a +2, or a great success on it. I will give you a +2 on your luck check.
Nice.
So what does this look like first? As he, you see the spear being lined up. It's another fallen spear from another guard.
It's sort of I think he's he sees someone pick up the spear and sort of, line it up to throw it towards Tierney.
Yep.
And it's just again, he looks down at the guard he's been sort of standing over and protecting, and looks back at his friend and makes the decision, and sort of just in this case he probably just bull rushes through the crowd, puts his head down and sprints over there.
Awesome.
To sort of interpose himself.
Okay, so go ahead and give us a luck check now at +2.
Okay, so
nice. So you reduce your luck by 1, but what do we see? Does he knock this spear out of the air mid-flight?
Yeah, absolutely. I have a monk ability, but I won't, it's not like I'm triggering it because I didn't need to because of the way the rules are. But it's basically his moon shields sun, and he sort of knocks the spear right out of the air.
Nice.
In the movie version, you can see it's going to be devastating.
Yeah.
Maybe even in the movie version, it's sort of the Bomb Berlin is you see the spear fly and how badly it injures Tierney.
Yeah.
Hitting his sword hand, and then the movie rewinds, and that's what Null saw in his mind would happen.
He rolls over, one of the rioters and stuff like that, spins through the air, and then kicks the spear out of the
spear out of the air and
mid-air.
sort of
and he lands, and there's this moment between Tierney and Null as you guys look at each other, and Tierney, he just saved your ass, because that's what that look tells you.
Yeah, Tierney gives him a little grin.
Okay, so you did not suffer that injury then from the thing. Okay. So now, Sean, on your turn, giving a D20 roll. Let's see what's going on in this bar brawl here. A 1. Oh man, 3d6. Okay, 3d6 guards enter the tavern, putting an end to the brawl.
Nice.
So you know what I'll say, guys, is this now there's a reinforcements from the guards come rushing in. And this thing...
It's about time.
Yeah, this thing you're facing is pushed back.
Nice.
Yeah. So you... what do you call it? The riot is now, standing there, looking at the spear in the ground. Null kind of panting and beaten and bruised from where he's been getting beaten up. The riot has come to an end.
There we go.
So...
I look for that guard that we were... that Null was protecting that we know.
Yeah. So then what you would do...
I help him to his feet, if possible.
So you, walk over to him, and he's sort of kind of trying to catch his breath. You put your hand out, and he takes your hand, and you pull him up to to his feet. And what I would say is that you guys would now have a renown of 1 with the House of Thurmond. So you're making
Nice.
friends, which means you got a contact who might be able to send you work, who might be able to, have favors to ask of you, or who you could, if you cultivated further rewards, you could gain benefits from too.
Cool.
So let's end this with you guys sitting around You've made some contacts with the House of Thurmond, and you're sitting around the bar at the Dragon's Rest. Let's talk about what a short rest is. So, a short rest is in a given day, given 24 hours, you have 3 different short rests you can take. During each of them, you have a number of will checks. You make a will check, and if you're successful, you get to do one of these things. You can recover half of any lost hit points plus your con modifier. You can recover 1 use of an expended class ability, or you can recover 1 reroll pool. So one of the reroll pool dice. Every day, I said you got 3. In one of them, you get to make 3 rolls. In another, you make 2, and in another, you make 1. So does that make sense?
Last part? What's that last part mean?
So you get to make. Remember, when you make a will check. If you're successful, you pick one of those options I gave you. Recover half your hit points plus con. Recover 1 use of an expended class ability, or recover 1 reroll pool. And the number of times you get to make those attempts at a will check is based on what one you picked. So you could pick a will 3, 2, or 1.
Okay.
And then between each of them, there needs to be a meaningful combat. But so you need to spend a few minutes involved in combat, and then you can take a second one. So normally what that means is that every day, so long as you have some kind of meaningful combat, you get to make at least 1 short rest where you can make 3 will rolls. If you have more than 1 combat, you can then use 2, and you can then use 1, and then if you know you're going to have a full day of a lot of different combat encounters, you could spread those out throughout the day and decide what you need based on what you've used up.
That's really cool.
Yep. And a long rest is something that requires 1d6 days of predominantly low-key activity. Modest travel is permissible, but the majority of the day must be spent resting. Intermittent battle is possible, but each combat extends the rest period by 1 day. So to get a full refresh of all your abilities, you need to really be doing nothing. So it makes, when you're out and you're traveling, it makes it a big deal to deal with. Okay? So assuming that you guys are going to take your short rest with 3 rests, because I think Tierney's got some, I know Null's got quite a bit of damage, and you used up some class abilities and some rerolls. Tierney, I think you used up some stuff as well, right?
I definitely did. I mean, I'm eligible for all 3. I didn't take much damage. I took a little. So I think I'm going to try to refresh a ferocious rage.
Okay. Well, here's what you first have to decide. Okay. We're going to assume that you've made this decision, that you're going to use up one of your the 3 check one. So you'll make 3 will checks, and then on each of the successful ones, you get to pick one of those options.
Okay.
Okay. So, and then Jeff, I'm assuming same thing too. You're going to do 3. Why don't we go back and forth? So, Tierney, which one? Why don't you make a will check for us?
Okay.
Success. So do you want to regain half your hit points or half the hit points lost plus your con? Do you want to recover one of your expended class abilities, or do you want to recover a reroll?
I'm going to recover a class ability.
Cool. So you get that back. And
Ferocious rage. I was down 2, so I get one of those back. Right?
One of those back, correct.
Okay.
Okay, and then Null, give us a will. Great success, nice. Unfortunately, great success doesn't mean anything in this. But do you want to gain half your hit points plus con, one of your class abilities, or a reroll dice?
I guess I'll take half my hit points back first.
All right, so it's half the hit points lost. So what are you at? What are you at currently?
I'm at 13, so.
So you're down 12. What's your con modifier?
+1.
+1. So you get 7 points back.
Yeah.
Okay, then Sean, go ahead and make a will check. Fail.
Okay.
Jeff, make a will check, please. Great success again, jeez. Okay, so do you want to gain more hit points back, gain one of your expended class abilities, or a reroll dice?
Get one of my monk techniques back.
Okay, and then Sean, last one here, will check. Success. What do you gain back?
I'll get back a reroll.
Okay, so bump your reroll up, and then Jeff, your final one?
Yeah, and when does our luck regenerate?
when you complete a long rest, you gain 1 point of luck back.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Success. Yeah, so it becomes a pretty important...
Right.
Holy Toledo. So, like, you rest for 1d6 days and you would go back +1 luck.
That's right.
Wow.
Oh, okay, that's something that's very slow regenerating.
And
Definitely.
that's your exploit metric, right?
Yes. Yep, and your
Okay, so
saving throws.
I probably wouldn't have been using it as heavily in a long play game.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
geez, Null, I can't believe you just showered.
And then, yeah, so then you, what do you call it? Which one do you want to pick, Jeff? Yeah, recover half as any lost hit points plus con, class ability, or reroll dice.
I got 1 reroll back.
Okay, cool. So that's where we would find your characters at the end of the riot. And
Awesome.
let's see here. Let me take a look at the... There was one other thing. I was looking at mass combat, and I didn't want to go through the whole rigmarole of playing through that.
I have a bit of it. I have a good little end scene for this story.
Of course, yeah. What do we see?
Well, I think that, like, maybe the guard comes in and he's like, you know, I might have found a job for you two. And
Yes.
Null says, yeah, we need to think about it.
Yeah.
Then the guard walks away and Tyrion's all confused. And Null shows him the 28 gold that he found during the riot. And it's like, then they just go back to, like, sort of drinking and hanging out in the bar,
Whoring.
whoring and looking for work. You know? So,
Awesome.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
cool. So then that's where we would leave our heroes, and yeah, that's well, I mean, you guys tell me. This is so you guys made characters for the first time. It's the first time either of you have played low fantasy gaming. What'd you think?
It was fun.
I liked it.
Yeah, no, it was. I thought it was good. It was fun. I mean, the character sheets really helped. You know, getting to skip some of the mechanics because obviously, you know, I've never played it before.
Yeah.
So that was cool. Yeah, and I thought we got a good taste of straight up combat as well as some of the mechanics that we were doing a lot of the random table rolling, which was cool.
Yeah.
And a little bit of the exploits, a taste of exploits, which seems to be a key mechanic.
You made
this
great
game.
use of the exploits too.
Yeah, so I thought it went well for given that we, you know, decided 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
It was really good to get a taste, and
Yeah,
it was good to let you have a second taste after you're, you know, like you feel it was a bit of a misfire the first time.
Yeah. What about you, Jeff?
I mean, I can kind of only speak a little bit about the monk. The game itself played pretty well. I think the regen system is very harsh. I think in a long campaign, you would find yourself choosing to do a rest as like a regular aspect of the game.
Yeah. And I mean that's part of the thing.
That's part of the design of, I guess.
Yeah,
but,
and one of the things that I think would be here, I'm gonna kill this. Hold on, kill this fucking music.
But I just want to quickly say before we talk about that,
Of course.
the monk played really well. I thought the abilities were really well done. They were fun and interesting and felt powerful. So
Yeah, what did you guys? It sounded like both of you guys were pretty intrigued with the options that were available under the whatchamacallit, the I can't remember what it's called, on something
Exploit?
feature.
The class feature?
Yeah, the whatever it calls, what do they call it?
Yeah. I mean, the rage is a good
Unique
classic-
feature.
Unique feature. Oh yeah. That's nice. You know, it lets you expand. It lets you either focus on your character or expand beyond it. I thought there were some good options there.
Yeah, and I think the thing that was interesting. Well, there's a couple things that I feel went like, first off, from the session I ran yesterday of this, there was no fault on the part of any of the players. The players were all terrific. They played. I had fun with the session, but it always eats at you especially when you're running a new game, especially when it's a game that you had a really positive impression going in at. I really feel like I did not present the game and run the game in a way that was ideal for what the game is designed for. In the same way that, like, when I'm thinking about, say, film, if a film, I'm assessing a film against what it intends to be. And I think the way I ran the game yesterday was as a different kind of game. So today it was, I really appreciate you guys giving me an opportunity to take a second swing at this.
Yeah.
And it shined in a lot of the ways that I hoped it had shined last time as well too. And really all we did was, so the things that I think were part of the things that were intriguing about the game, in terms of how I thought it would play out at the table, were, for one, the emergent story play, because that's something I love about old school play. I love how I get to see in a different way from narrative games. Narrative games you play to see what's happening, right? And to learn what's happening. That's interesting. In the same way a sandbox game in an old school game is the same thing. You're playing to see what's going to happen, what the random encounters are, what the random developments are. And I did not get enough of that last time, and it's my own. I'm the one who set the parameters for the game. Today, this was so much fun seeing those things happen over, like your random injury. Holy shit, that would have been terrible,
Right.
right?
Right.
And then
Yeah, it was kind of out of nowhere. You're like, don't, you know what happened?
yeah, and it did a
Yeah.
good job of simulating the kind of the chaos of what a riot would be like, right? Like
Right.
you can try to a degree to control yourself, but you can't have eyes everywhere. So I like
Right.
that. I like the random gold option that you found there too, Jeff. That was really funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
And the idea that you're perpetually tracking resources and you're never getting back to, or not never, but like you're never going to be back and like, I'm at square one now. I'm ready. I'm fresh. I'm hale. I don't think every game in every setting would suit that. But for a sword and sorcery thing, I kind of
Yeah.
love that you're perpetually like, running with
You're
a half
nursing a
tank.
wound or nursing something.
Yeah, like, because once the game gets going, I think if it would feel very, very, I don't know, like immersive in that it's going on. And yeah, you could. We're going to take time and we'll make sure our resources are all recovered and our luck is all recovered. But that's going to be subject to how much money you've got too, right? Because
Right. Right.
And I think it's more the the pressure of the luck. The luck felt like a really cool mechanic, but when the recovery of it is like one of every 1d6 of a long rest,
yeah,
it feels like a resource that kind of is like last resort instead of the way we were using it, which was like interesting gameplay wise.
so here's the counterpoint to that, and the thing to bear in mind is that on every luck roll, you can always take advantage of your reroll pool, and your reroll pool can recover on a dice pool. And the math-wise, what it effectively accounts for is a +5, right? So it's +5 to whatever the stat is. So if you're rolling against a 10 on your luck, it's really a 15 if you're going to reroll. Now you are using up another one of your resources from your reroll pool, but it means that you have a better chance of doing that stuff. And
Well, it's just because it's also your saving throws, isn't it?
it is, yeah. And when you successfully save against something, that also goes down by 1.
It does help that, I guess, so a failure on a luck roll never takes up the resource.
A failure,
Yeah.
yes, that's right.
Okay.
So that never, it's only when you succeed.
That,
It's
that
only,
helps. That
yeah.
helps a little bit.
And the way I was picturing it is as a kind of like in Star Trek Adventures, there's that, and in some of the other 2D20 games, there's the idea that like you can get a critical failure on a rising number, right? Like the number gets lower, so you're just going to see more. The more the tension is raised, the bigger the stakes, the more you're going to see that. And I think that's sort of how that luck plays out.
Yeah.
And I honestly don't know how crippling that would be.
Like in a long campaign, Kev, I feel like the way luck would play out is eventually everybody would be sitting on, a very low number.
It's possible. I honestly don't know. Like I think that I'm see if there's any other ways that luck.
Maybe there's other ways to recover.
Yeah,
it.
let me take a look here. See.
I don't know. I'm only saying that, not trying to cry or anything. I'm just saying it's a really fun, cool mechanic. I just hate to see that you like.
Yeah.
Either you have like lots of access to it when you start, and then you kind of don't have access to it as you like get going.
Yeah, so here's what the designer's thoughts are. This is what Steve wrote in the thing. Although hit points, spells, and other abilities tend to replenish regularly, relying on luck gets riskier the longer an adventure goes on. Diminishing luck is intended to serve several purposes. First, players must make choices about when to use their luck. Secondly, it ratchets up the danger as the adventure progresses. Thirdly, in conjunction with short rests and random encounters, it incentivizes pressing on with an adventure rather than looking for a place to camp. For longer adventures or for tables who like to engage in frequent side treks, you might consider allowing luck to replenish more quickly. Perhaps 1 point is restored at certain adventure milestones at the start of each play session as a further short rest recovery option, etc.
Okay, I see. He already thought like some people might like to include it in their
Yeah,
game a little.
and like what I did for mine was we rolled up the random bonds, and I said if you can show me in play at 1 point how you're demonstrating this role playing connection plays, you'll get a point of luck back.
Right.
And that's probably how I'd roll it in a long term. I think adding one extra luck recovery.
Yeah, I think it plays really well as a reward for role playing.
Definitely, you need to be careful with it to avoid neutering it, but I mean, saying once per session in a 4-hour session or a 3-hour session, you can take advantage of this. I'd be fine with that.
Right.
Yep.
Does that still?
I just want the game to degenerate to we're forced to take long rests.
And I don't know. Yeah, like I think that comes down to the style of play and the like. So much of that is what's happening in the fiction too, right? Like our in my Ash campaign, we spent the main campaign for Tule, we spent 17 sessions with the characters wandering around in the wilderness, and of that, they spent 1 night in the comfort of a camp. Otherwise, they're going. So I mean, like, I don't think I'd let them take a long rest for that entire period.
Right.
Yeah. So for that campaign, I would figure out some other mechanism for allowing them to do that. But that also would highlight just how dangerous that shit is. And it would support a different style of play. You wouldn't be able to jump in as action heroes and do lots of exploits. You'd have to be figuring out when you really want to pick your encounters, pick your combats. And there are rules in here expressly for running away from combat, too, for escaping.
I mean, I think
it feels death spirally to me.
It is, but it's also you fighting against that. That's where the recovery comes, right? And that's the interesting tension I thought is cool, as opposed to, say, like, and I'm not meaning to shit on fifth edition, but, like, 5th edition does feel kind of like next day reset. Boom, next day reset.
I think that's too far the other way. I'm not arguing for, like, and I'm not saying this is wrong. I haven't played it, but it just feels like in a long campaign, instead of the longer you play, the tougher you feel. It's almost like the longer you play, the closer you are to death all the time.
I mean, I think to your original point, Kevin, too. It's really it's a big deal what kind of game it is. I mean, I think for this kind of game, I think I could see it being okay. I think that in other games it would be too much, but the notion of that there's always a temptation in most games, I think, to just keep going.
Yeah.
And so I think I mean I could see it. I mean you'd have to play it, but I could see that always being nicked up, always going into something with half your resources. And finally, you just got to say, okay, guys, we got to lay up for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, given the kind of game it is, I think it's got promise.
Yeah, and that's sort of what I was, the thing that I thought was interesting about the long-term effect of resource management, and I can't say one way or the other whether it will play out that way because I haven't run it long enough. But that's the fact that on a short rest, the players are making interesting decisions about what they're going to get, what they're going to try and regenerate.
Yeah, I quite like that. I like that.
Yeah,
I definitely like the mechanic.
Yeah, and then I think that in play, because the luck is subject to your score is your level. It's a 10 plus half your level. So the higher level you are, the bigger your luck pool is to start. And if you segued through we're going to spend a month in downtime, well then if you've got a month, your luck's going to be back up to full, and that gives you lots of opportunities to have amazing successes with it before you even duck into your reroll pool, and the reroll pool is equal to your level. So the higher level you get,
absolutely, yeah. Like that. I guess that's what I'm saying is like and I guess it would probably depend how the campaign was set up.
Yeah.
But you're right. You would do I don't know, 2 weeks of a dungeon crawl or whatever you're doing where your resources would wear down, but then it would be like, we're taking 28 days off after this,
Yeah.
hide out at the tavern and actually get our resources
And the
back.
cool thing with that, I think, is that if that, I mean, that incentivizes that gap in play, right? Like, is a lot of campaigns, especially long-term campaigns, unless you're intentionally setting those breaks in, it's kind of like, and then tomorrow, what do you do? And then tomorrow, what do you do? And then tomorrow, what do you do? So all this crazy shit happens in the span of a very narrow period of time.
Absolutely.
So this
Yeah.
has the consequence of like forcing you to be like, and then a month later, we're picking up with our heroes again.
Right.
Right. And if you had the goal, I wonder if, let me see what the costs are for lodging. I'm just curious if,
I think if you had a good, yeah, if the lodging prices make sense and you're not, I guess
so
it says you can't be fighting during downtime, but it doesn't say you can't be laboring.
no, you could still be laboring. You could still be like, it's, you're able to even travel to a degree. It's just that every combat you get involved in, it adds a day to it.
Right.
Right.
It almost feels like this would work really well with sort of the way we set up our Iron King sources would be, you'd be burning the candle
Yep.
and it would be going down, but then like, it might be a month or it might be 2 months before some thing sparks up again.
Exactly.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
sort of, rebuild your pool of.
Well, and that's where like that was a sandbox campaign. The Tula board campaign is a sandbox one too, and that's exactly where I thought it would be a good fit having the game and the setting together, is because the Tula campaign is a sandbox, and it one of the ways with that long rest thing does too is in the Ash game I make use of the AD&D Wilderness Survival Guide and Ultimate Wilderness and a bunch of other shit. So like traveling is really dangerous. Like you have to be hunting, you have to be monitoring your water usage and shit like that. Like, because I want the wilds to feel like wilds. It's not just when you fight shit that's out there. It's that it itself. And this I think has that effect as well, right? Like the further you get away from home, the more you're like, man, we're like 7 or 8 days away from town right now. We've just fought some pretty serious fights and we can't seem to get our shit back. Do we want to run the risk of what random encounters we may hit on the way back to town, or do we want to press on, or like, what do we want to do? And that's that decision making about the resource management, I think, makes for a very fun and dynamic game, especially if you've got someone who's like Brent's luck with dice rolling, right? Not to pick on someone, but like Brent is just, he's cursed with terrible dice rolls. If Brent had to blow through all of his reroll pools and he had to blow through all of his luck, right? And he's sitting at 5 luck or whatever, whereas someone else is still almost full. That, I think, makes for some fun decisions amongst the party, right? And then it also, in a way, gives one of the characters who's got a better luck more opportunities to get the spotlight. Right, because there's a mechanical incentive there. Well, my character's down to a 5 luck. I'm probably not going to be able to do this rescue exploit that I need to do. Fucking you do it. Right?
Absolutely. No, I'm saying I like a lot of aspects of it.
Yeah.
I'm just not sure it would be. It's sort of reliant on the DM to manage that resource.
Yep.
Up and downness so that it remains fun and not just an obvious death spiral. Like, do you know what I mean? Like,
I totally agree. Yep.
Yeah, because I mean, because it's your saving throw as well, it's like, well, we're screwed. Like, if we're all down and then,
Yeah. No, it's
I mean, I guess these games are always supposed to be very fatal, but
yeah. Once if you hit 0 hit points, you go down. Like there's not. That's where the rescue exploits really come in. Because if you hit 0, you're down, and then the healing magic that's available, it takes. So it definitely makes that. You're fighting for your life, tooth and nail for it. I mean,
see, and I like some of those kind of rules. Like I actually don't mind healing magic being something that's like in the minute scale and not like middle of the fight, fighter's half dead, cleric snaps his fingers. Fighter's totally full.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Like I do kind of like that. There's parts of this I really like. You'd have to play it a little more to see how it played out, but
yeah. No, it's cool. So that's guys. Sean, do you have anything? I guess before I yap anymore, do you have anything further to add?
No, I think it's I mean, definitely in the OSR kind of category, I think it's got promise. I like some of the mechanics. I'm glad we got a little taste. I think we covered, a pretty decent little foray of exploits and random rolling and even getting a taste of some of the limited resources like we're discussing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. I think it's got
that injury is pretty scary, eh?
yeah. Well, I mean, because it was so random.
Yeah.
So it was cool. In the riot, it was perfect. So
Mm-hmm.
and then we got to use and then Null pulled off the exploit to nullify it, pun intended.
Yeah.
So yeah, I thought it was good. I mean, I thought that was a really good session for fitting in some stuff on short notice, in limited time.
Yeah, and that's that again, like, worth emphasizing that all this shit came together in the span of while we were playing too.
Right.
We had it was only within a half hour before our start time that we found out that we were down 2 players for it too. Which again, like, guys, we told both Arlen and James, hope you feel better soon. But this, yeah, I'm for myself, I'm really, really, really glad I gave it a second go.
Yeah.
And had a try, especially so close to the last session. And again, it had nothing to do with the players who played in the last session. It just, I don't think that I found a way to highlight the stuff that I thought would be interesting about it, and that would support what this game is, rather than what do you call it? What I thought it might be.
Role-playing games are all different, and sometimes it takes more than one try to sort of.
Absolutely, yeah.
When I was watching your low fantasy gaming session before, I thought you were going to break into the red pit. It looked like you were, it looked like a red pit setup there.
Yeah, totally. Well, that's sort of what I was intending with it, but I should have done a better job of communicating what the party challenge, like the skill challenge, was going to be in it, and made more clear, or just presented it as a series of set piece encounters. Like, this is now you've reached this point. Hi, sweetie. Now you've reached this point, and now you've got to make a decision as to what you're going to do. Hi, honey. What's up? Emmy just came to say hi. So that is probably her telling me that she needs to go for a stroll.
Right.
So awesome. Well, guys, again, thank you so much for taking the plunge in to low fantasy gaming.
Yeah.
So. All right, and for those listening at home, I can see there's quite a few folks in chat. I apologize for not keeping up with the chat tonight or today, but I will go through, and if there are any questions that I got in there, I will address that in the chat afterwards, or in the description afterwards. But until, I guess, first off, for those listening at home, thank you again for joining us live or elsewise. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns regarding the session, please do not hesitate there at Dungeon Musings, or you can reach me on by email at dungeonmusings. Sorry, it isn't that. It's dungeonmusings@gmail.com. You can also join us on the Dungeon Musings Discord server, which you can find a link to in the description of the video below. We'll be chatting about this game, as well as we have channels for all the campaigns that we run on the channel, as well as a Looking for Group channel, as well as a Dogs channel, a Dungeon Dogs channel, where we share pictures of our dogs. In addition, if you can see in the link of the video, or the description of the video, there is a link to something called Heroes Save Villages. That is the charity fundraising campaign that we run on the channel. It is, if you follow through, you can learn all about that and the SOS Children's Villages International charity that benefits from the donations made to Heroes Save Villages. It is a really terrific organization, active in over 130 countries, that provides benefits for over 80,000 orphaned and abandoned children. You can learn all about their activities, the villages that they set up to support these kids, and more by following through that link. You can also make your donations there. None of it goes to the channel. None of it goes to a middleman. All of it goes to help SOS Children's Villages International do the very good work that they do. But last but not least, again, a massive thanks to Jeff and Sean for jumping into this game. There's not every player who would happily jump in on a Sunday morning into a brand new game, roll up characters, and then let the DM try and kill them. So, Jeff and Sean, thank you so much for letting me take another swing at this sucker. So, thank you guys.
Good job, man.
Thank you. So then, until next time, folks, thank you again for joining us for this redux of low fantasy gaming. And until next time, happy gaming.